We're live.
What's up? What's going on? How is everybody?
How's everybody doing?
I am ready to see what Milan's got. I think they're probably the better team right now, but I would never count this Atalanta out. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring.
Guys, welcome to the stream. Let me introduce everyone first. Thanks for everyone that's joining in today. We got Wayne. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him. Definitely a good follow. Check him out. I'll link his social medias down below. Wayne, thanks for coming. He's a Roma fan, but also Serie A fan.
Yes.
And maybe a not so familiar face. We have our childhood friend Sebastian over here. Huge Milanista.
Oh, yeah, you know, baby.
And we've been dying to have him on a live stream. And he's finally on. And I think for a big game too, right, Sebastian?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous, but I have to say I kind of have to agree with Wayne in the sense that I think we are the better team today that's out there. And time will tell. So it's going to be happening real soon.
Awesome. The game is starting any minute right now. So I want to go quickly through the lineups, see what we're thinking right now. Atalanta playing 3-4-1-2 formation. Juan Musso, Palomina, Demiral, Jim City, the center backs. Zappacosta, Roon, Freuler, Maile in that midfield with Messina behind Malinovskyi and Zapata. Very strong lineup from Atalanta. It was going to be tough. They have Ilicic, Muriel, Miranchuk, Pasalic on the bench, so a lot of firepower. And, of course, Milan playing with that 4-2-3-1 formation. Mike Magnan between the sticks. Theo, Tomori, Kier, and Calabria for that defense. Kessie, Tonali, the Registas with Brahim Diaz, Leao, Salazmaker behind Ante, Rebic. Guys, strong lineup, I think, from both ends. I think this is probably the game of the week. Very exciting. First, quick thoughts from you guys. Anything?
Looking at Milan's midfield, the fact that Benacer is in the bench, that's crazy to me because I know that he's easily and continuously one of the best players in this league. So it's just it's a testament to how good that Milan's midfield actually is with Kessie, being the boss of that setup, and now Tonali finally getting his oats.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Wayne in that respect. Tonali has definitely earned his starting position. He's a bull, man. He was running and all over that midfield. He holds his own, and hopefully Kessie will have a great game today against his old team where he used to be. And Benacer is a stud. We can bring him in the second half, and he can be able to wreak havoc over there in Atalanta's midfield and cause a bunch of problems over there. So I think we're going to have a good game today, and without further ado, I think we're on our way.
Okay,
Yeah, there we go.
And since we are on the way, we got to say our quick predictions. Let's see how much weight it holds at the end of the game. But Sebastian, since you are new here,
Wait! Davidinho! Il grande Tezzino!
Davide Calabria!
Grande Davidinho!
Wow!
1-0!
That was quick. Wow.
Wow, Musso looks like he fell asleep over there, Mike.
Wow, Musso with that spilling that ball over there, and Calabria getting that rebound so quick. We couldn't even say our predictions quick enough.
I'm sticking to my prediction.
Wow.
It's going to be 1-2. Atalanta's going to take it 2-1. I'm sorry. That's what I was about to say was 2-1 Atalanta. And we've got about 89 and a half more minutes, though, for Milan not to get any more for me to be right. And I don't know at this point,
crazy.
But that's nuts.
Well, my prediction anyway, before that beautiful goal by Davide Calabria was going to be a 2-1 win for Milan. I think we're going to take all 3 points home today because of the fact that we are ready. We're ready to bounce back from that quite controversial match that we had earlier in the week. But I think that we have the capability to be able to take all 3 points today.
Wow, okay. I wanted to say Milan win, but you guys are both saying Milan win. I feel like an Atalanta
Wayne said that.
I think Atalanta's going to win.
You say Atalanta?
Yeah, even after.
So I'm going to pick a different prediction from both of you guys. I think it's going to end as a 2-2 draw. I know Atalanta always come back. Even against Inter, it looked like they were a little shaky maybe in the beginning, but they ended up getting a point out of it. And they could have even won that game. And I think Atalanta's a real force to be reckoned with for sure. They conceded a very early goal from that.
What a ball from
regardless.
Theo.
Oh yeah.
What a ball.
Theo was so good.
Fullback to fullback. It almost makes you think that everybody always talks about how strong Atalanta's fullbacks are, but we can't always forget. And we got the great fullbacks there in Milan too. One homegrown and one of the best in Serie A to do it over there.
Oh yeah, you said it. And guys, for the people that are watching that are wondering, you can watch Serie A exclusively on Paramount Plus this season. You guys already know we're partnering with them for the season. They're doing incredible stuff. If you saw earlier, our boy Marco was on the set over there explaining, saying what he thinks, saying that Milan are no pushover this season, and Brahim is the real deal. So definitely link in the description. Check it out. You get 7 days free trial. So guys, don't make a mistake if you're in the U.S. The best place to watch it. Oh boy. Yo, Milan are pressing though, huh?
Milan came out.
They ain't messing around at all.
They came fired up.
Okay. Wow.
What's Pioli doing in that locker room?
Nah, he's
getting them hyped.
He's motivating them somehow, right?
Yeah.
That's for real.
I mean, prior to this, who was Pioli? I mean, even at Fiorentina, like not great. And then
no, he was more of a mid-table coach.
Yeah,
and I feel like with Milan, I don't know what happened. A lot of people, I feel like, maybe thought it was like a fluke season of last year. But so far this season, he's really showing he's a better coach and a lot more people anticipated him to be, I think.
And he's quiet. He's not out there in the media. He's not someone who takes the spotlight, right? But it seems, I mean, by his body of his work, that he's doing a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, away from, the newspapers or wherever it might be, talking. His talking is done on the pitch.
No, it's clearly evident that he's able to kind of explode now with this Milan, especially now he's had the time to be able to implement his system and work now, especially given this new young team. He's got a lot of these young guys like Tonali, Calabria, and including Salamakers, Leao. You can keep going on with names of all the young talent, and it's great because they have such a diverse mix of experience and youth that kind of helps to be able to then project them forward. And I think Pioli's doing a magnificent job.
Yeah, it's a good point what he's done actually handling young players. Not every coach is, able to do that, and it's difficult when you handle, young minds, people who are 18, 19, up something years old in their young 20s. And there's a lot of questions still to be answered. Yes, they've shown talent, they've shown capability, but however, taking them from talent into an end product is a very difficult process.
For sure, you're right.
100%.
You need you need so many resources to really make the player what he could become.
Sure.
I feel like there's so many youth products that maybe crash under the pressure and the potential that these young stars are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Who are hyped out to be, but then again, maybe the resources weren't there to really develop that talent to become the
Look at that ball.
player you're supposed to be.
Definitely.
Wow, Rebic. We gotta say, ooh.
Braminho.
Oh.
Rebic is reminding me of his years in Germany.
Yeah, back to those Frankfurt.
Yeah, Frankfurt.
Untracked, right?
Yep.
We got to give a lot of credit to Rebic also. Having Giroud and Zlatan not 100% the past few weeks, he really stepped up as a player. He's been scoring, he's been assisting, helping his team. Even quiet at times, but always, I feel like, been helping being as a starting striker for Milan.
He's a worker.
So a lot of credit for that. Yeah, he hustles, man. He defends, he attacks. He has that energy. He has that grinta.
He's got that Gattuso grinta right there.
He does, yeah. He's all these Croatians are very tough. They have that great characteristic, man.
Yeah,
that's so
players.
valuable, man. I feel like in a team, you need that. You need someone like that.
Balkan players, it's something that's just almost synonymous with that area of the world. Bosnians, Croatians, Macedonians,
Serbians. Like Vlahovic is another perfect example of that too. They consistently keep pushing.
And it was just the birthday of Mirko Vucinic.
That's right.
That's right.
We had a post about him doing his famous celebration.
Roma and Juventus legends.
Yeah, Roma and
Grande
Juventus
Mirko.
legends. Yeah. He was
Well, we also do have another very special birthday today too. Big 4-0 from my
big
main man
Zlatan.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Dio Zlatan.
Wow, that guy's literally an ancient artifact. 40 years old, still performing at a high level. Maybe a little bit more injury prone, but I guess you could say it's expected, considering he's not a young kid anymore, right?
I mean, even despite that, look at what he's able to do. Even if he's not on the pitch necessarily, you see him screaming on the sidelines to kind of help out Pioli. Not that Pioli needs the help, but he's there to give the confidence and instill all the possibilities to these young guys and be able to kind of help transform them into the team they are today.
Oh, for real. And I like how... wait, and go finish.
I was going to say, you look at these guys, if it was Ronaldo or Ibra or Totti, right? And that's, in the second half or last third of their career, that's for me when they start to become inspiring, right? Because I'm 31 years old. I'm not getting the name of an 18-year-old player on my back because I might admire them, but I don't look up to them. However, I do look up to these players who are 35 and up, and they take care of their bodies, and they're serious about their fitness. And this is not just a job, but an actual lifestyle, and they look great, and they're still amazing.
Yeah.
So to me, those players have become my idols
For sure,
as I
for
get
sure.
older.
But then you see players like Manolas, who seem like
on
he took a dive. He looks like he retired early, but he's still on the roster for some reason.
Yeah, he's on the other end of that, keeping up with his body, and
He's eating too much burrata over there. In
Yeah,
Napoli, man.
too much burrata.
he's getting comfortable in Napoli.
What do they drink? Ouzo in Greece?
In Greece, it's
Ouzo,
Ouzo.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what he's having, but he's
my
got he
gosh.
lost his starting spot, dude. Rahmani and Koulibaly are locks.
I think
And Rahmani scored today. Yo, Rahmani's looking
It's
good.
over.
He's a safer option at that end. You can't even blame Spalletti at this point.
Roma fans don't miss Manolas.
Yeah,
one bit.
I know.
They don't miss him at all.
Nah.
No.
Only nostalgically for what he did
Yeah,
against
I
Barca.
figured
But
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a.
What a hit.
What we got? What we got?
Oh!
Numero de Roon.
Martin.
Martin. That guy's a beast, too.
Did you guys see that bit that he did on social media about him being in the team store waiting to sell? To
Yeah,
sign
He's
jerseys?
great.
yeah, we actually posted about that. That was
He's
good.
he's hysterical.
Dude, he's too funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He's a big fan. Him and his wife actually big fans of the podcast. They have a bunch of culture merch also.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
He always wears this stuff, so he
I like
always
that
shouts
team.
us out and stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
The Dutch national team is one I really like to watch.
They have so many. It's crazy how the Dutch national team haven't won the World Cup out of all the talents they've had
It's so
passed
nuts.
through their system. You know what I'm saying?
And
Nuts.
they've been quiet the past few years. I
That's
know they
true.
really haven't.
They've
made
been
any-
on a rebuild form though. I feel
Exactly.
like because they didn't qualify for the World Cup that year. I think the same time with Italy was it World Cup?
Yeah.
Yeah, World
yeah.
Cup. Same time with Italy, I believe it was the
In
same
Russia.
tournament. Yeah.
When I first started to watch ball, it was Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Mhm.
Oh,
and
man.
he
Oh,
was
forget about it.
ridiculous.
No joke.
Nice interception there. Important to keep it.
But I want to go back to Zlatan, Sebastian, where you brought up Zlatan. We know he's turning 40. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but national team break is upon us right
Mhm.
now, and Sweden actually called up Zlatan.
I'm not surprised.
So, I mean, considering he's been out for how many weeks for Milan?
I'm
He's
still not
40 years
surprised.
old. And,
Ah,
dude,
man.
does he need a break? You know
I
what I'm
wouldn't
trying to
have-
say?
I wouldn't have
like,
called
it's
him
too
up.
much.
Nah.
What do you guys think about this?
No, they should start looking just at Isaac and just let him groom him, let him play as much as he can for the national team, and
For the
you know,
club.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
and make your peace with it. It's just it's too much, and I don't know what you're going for. Maybe you're just going for the short-term success here because you have to qualify.
Uh-huh.
However, you gotta start looking at
It's too much, though,
long-term.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to also keep in mind on that list, and I'm sure they're very well aware that he's not going to be in any form to be able to fully compete. But the encouragement and the experience that he has with the Swedish national team, look what he was able to do. I mean,
That's true.
unfortunately, they haven't been able to win any trophies in recent years. However, the performances that guy does and just the energy that he brings is quintessential. And to be honest with you, I think that's the reason and that's the thinking there. I don't think that they're bringing him in to think that, oh, yeah, he's going to put in the performance to
play.
take us to the next round, take us through qualification. But with him, you're much better than you are without him.
That's definitely a good point. The other reason why I didn't really want him getting called up is Greece is playing Sweden soon.
Sorry, Mike.
And, and I was like, bro, you're really going to call Zlatan, whether it be on the field or off the field. That guy's a beast, man. So, say what you want about him. But that guy, I feel like he's so underrated. Where do you guys put him in terms of category, in terms of the best strikers in the world? Like in history? Like,
Well,
where does he fall
Well,
for
what
you guys?
categories are we going by?
Like, where would he be remembered? Would he be remembered in the top tier in terms of his longevity? At 40 years old, he's still performing. You
He's
know
got
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
top tier.
I would say
Top,
top
so
tier.
top
yeah.
tier with Ronaldo and Messi,
Yeah,
you say?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, that's good. Even though he hasn't won a Champions League,
When
how much does that add to it?
not important to
No.
me.
Wow,
Not
really?
important, because I'm thinking of Totti.
Okay.
So I know that a player can be at
That's
the
fair.
highest level and not have necessarily won the
Nice
CL.
clearance.
Wow, volley here.
Dai, Tomori,
Oi,
dai.
oi, oi.
Bravissimo.
Sebastian, same with you?
Ficaio. Yeah, no, without a doubt. I think that he's definitely in the top tier area because again, even though he hasn't necessarily had the success with winning trophies, but when you think of one guy who's there with the big ponytail running and dominating that field, the only one guy you think of when it comes to that in terms of one of the top tier strikers in the history of the game. And no matter where he's been, he's always dominated with his personality, with his energy, with his potential, what he's been able to bring to all his teams. He's a winner, and I definitely think he's going to be a top tier player to always be remembered.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I definitely put him high up there. That's where the argument is where there's a lot of conflicts. Whether it be, could he be determined? Is he that top player who hasn't won like Messi, Ronaldo? They won in our generation.
Right.
So could you really put him in that category? That's where I feel like it's split in terms of, is he there or is he in the tier right below, under that?
It's interesting because once he transfers to Barcelona and Eto'o comes the other way, is when Inter wins.
Exactly.
And I don't think they would have won without that movement. Without that
Zlatan
transfer.
was there, you don't see them winning.
No.
Yeah.
No way. Because he wouldn't work like that.
So
Not
now,
the way that Eto'o did on the side.
Oh,
Zapata.
Duvan! What the
Grande
shot?
Mike!
Oh, Manyan with the save. Malinovsky gets to it, but big Manyan. Oh, my
Magic
God.
Mike.
Zapata was through.
Wow,
He
man.
was there,
I
man.
thought he was going to bury it.
Dude, I thought he got the rebound over there. Over there. Atalanta are stinging, though. They're not going back.
Nah.
They're pesky, man.
Nah, they're not gonna give in. With Gasperini, these guys, they want to be able to kind of take revenge from what Milan did to them at the end of the season last year. That 2-0 win in Bergamo, they're gonna want to take something back. But,
Oh, wow.
all right.
Played the advantage. Ref did the right thing there, but it's just a bad
better
touch.
Much better than the ref that happened earlier this week. I could tell you that much.
Let's see.
Let's see. All right.
Well, nice fans in Bergamo today. They really came out.
Oh, there's gonna be a big step for Atalanta, because if they do somehow manage to win this game, they'll only be 2 points behind Milan. And a lot of people have been saying that Atalanta have started off pretty poorly.
Wow,
so
look at
being
that
only
stop
2
by
points
look
away,
at that stop by Tonali when it comes off the rebound off of Mignon. Look at that. Talk about being they
that
didn't
was
show it
great.
there. They're showing another side of Zapata, but
Zapata's strength is just unreal.
Dude, you need 2 or 3 guys to
Yeah.
try to stop him.
He'll push
and
you
that's a
off.
maybe.
and that's a maybe. Yeah, that's true.
I was coming from a Roma perspective. I was bitter when Milan got Tonali. I have to be honest. And then,
You were bitter?
yeah, I was mad. I really thought that was a viable option. Roma needed a regista at the time, and I thought he would have been perfect. And then he cooled off. But now you see that he's finally he's picking it up. He's gotten so much better. And now I've seen, there's always this Pirlo/Gattuso mention. But from what I read and what I hear is that he's a little bit more Gattuso than a Pirlo. Would you?
I tend to agree with that. I mean, it depends. You're looking at him, and isn't that amazing that you could say that one player emulates the qualities of 2 legends, not 1 but 2? And I tend to agree with you a little bit there, Wayne, because he just plays with such an animosity in the midfield, and the way his passing, the way he moves the ball, and the way he moves off the ball. He's such a defensive element in our team, even though he's great moving the ball forward on the field, and he's great in the attacking third there too. He's very aggressive, but that defense there says it all.
And did they get a discount for him with
I believe that they did. I remember.
Brescia's Pacicelino?
And something that I also found very interesting with him specifically, he agreed to a pay cut to be able to stay with Milan, to play with Milan, and that goes to show you that how he's committed to the project, he's committed to the team, and definitely he's going to be there for hopefully a long time.
And he did grow up Milanista, so that's definitely he followed his heart on that one. He said it from the start. You told Cerlino Brescia that's what the reason why he wanted to go there. He didn't want any other club. Same thing with Locatelli, actually, from Sassuolo to Juventus. He kind of almost, I guess you can say, like, shot himself in the foot in terms of saying, I only want a Juve, and that was a team I supported as a kid. So, if you say things with your heart sometimes, I don't want to say, like, it ruins the negotiations for you for other teams in terms of that.
Help.
But it doesn't help. But at the end of the day, dude, if that's a team that you supported, that's a dream move. Even if you make a little bit less or whatever the case may be, you're fulfilling your dream, which I'm always for,
And that, to me, is a really interesting point. Wow. Let's see. Ooh, nice recovery from Atalanta.
Nice tackle.
Wow. Atalanta.
They're not
Pushing
giving up.
it, man.
Look at the back post. Back post. Look.
They got 5 in the box. Ooh.
Wow.
It's not over.
Frank the Tank is there. Look at that. Come on.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice move by
great.
Messina. Oh, way to create space.
Not bad. Atalanta are moving quickly, but Milan are also pretty organized. It's going to be hard to break them down. Now with the ball out.
Okay, let's see.
Rebic has the ball
There
in
it
the
is.
corner of the box.
Make the cut.
You got to shoot that.
Oh, no.
Oh! Musso saves it from Brahim. Wow.
That's
A nice kick save over there. Okay, it's
Wait
a
a minute,
foul.
what?
It's Atalanta's ball.
I
Oh, no, it went out?
the ball went out.
Ilicic on the bench.
Ooh,
He's like, yeah.
Pessina.
Yeah,
Pessina's
exactly.
mad.
Shoulder to shoulder.
There you
but-
go.
Yeah. Mister, I know, Mister. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. You know, I'm kind of surprised. I don't want to say anything to jinx anything from the get-go, but I think
boy.
Kessie is starting to wake up a little bit.
He had some questionable performances the past few games in terms of linking with his contract extension and what's going to be going on.
Yeah, I remember there were. Look at that.
Jeez.
Look at
Wow.
that. Look at that.
Zapata is a tank.
Oh, my God.
I can't take the ball off of that guy. You need 3 guys to stop.
Oh! What a shot.
Magic
Wow.
Mike.
Wow. Zabacosa with a shot. Manyan
That
with
guy
another
is dangerous.
save.
Look at that. Look at that.
He's been playing good for Atalanta.
To be fair, I wasn't even a real big fan of Zabacosa. I didn't think he'd have the quality when Atalanta signed him. But
Really?
he's a pretty solid choice.
I thought he would have really dropped down by now because he tore his ACL. It's
Yeah.
only like 2 years ago.
Oh, another
another
save.
Zapata heads it right
He's a
to
menace.
Manyan, though.
He's the cat-like reflexes. Magic Mike.
What is he? 4 saves already?
Yeah.
4 saves? What is it? 20 minutes in?
I don't know how much Milan lost with Donnarumma because this
Oh,
guy's
boy.
Manyan's legit.
Nah, nobody's thinking of Donnarumma anymore.
I don't think so.
Sebastian, what do you think? As a Milan fan, first of all, how much did it suck losing Donnarumma?
All right. Well, if we're gonna be real here, losing Donnarumma was especially right after the Euros when he
Exactly.
becomes
The
literally
hero.
when he achieves the position of
Yeah.
being the best goalkeeper in Europe and arguably one of
The
the best
world.
keepers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely was definitely a downer. But looking at what we were able to pick up in as a replacement, I couldn't have asked for anything better.
How good is he, man?
Mike, I can't even begin to tell you. He has the reflexes like Dida. He has the foot like Pirlo. Look at the balls that he's able to send upfield.
Big statement, Seba. Wow.
But look what he's able to do.
He's definitely good. Definitely an incredible star.
Pinpoint.
He did not
all the way up the
No,
field.
he's good. He's good. And he's a much cheaper price than Donnarumma.
Wow.
A much discount.
Oh,
Good. Beautiful
No?
tackle.
That was a-
beautiful tackle.
wow.
Beautiful tackle.
Pessina looks like he's hurt.
That was a
That was a pretty
Brilliant
Big,
Pessina's grabbing his
tackle.
hamstring.
pretty
Hopefully he's
vicious
okay.
tackle, but
And now Milan on the other side
On
with
the
the
break.
counter.
Ah.
Oh.
I like those strong tackles. I gotta be honest.
As long as they're clean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a physical game. You know what? And you come away with the ball first, and
Exactly.
whatever happens after that is not your problem.
You're right. Good point.
So
Well, let's see.
what's going on? Oh, he's
Ooh,
still down.
Pessina's on the floor.
Hope
Oh
he's-
boy.
Let's see.
Let's see how tough this
He was
tackle was.
offside. There, no. Wow, look how he took off like
Yeah.
that.
Let's see this closely.
I gotta see that.
Let's see this again. Nah, he got the ball.
Ooh, did
Nice.
he clip his thigh?
I'm trying to. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Wayne.
Nah,
No, it
he
looks
got
like he
the
got the
ball.
ball.
He
Looks
got
like he
the
got the
ball.
ball.
Yeah, you gotta give
That's
that
another-
to the
It was a
defender.
very tough
That's
tackle.
another beautiful
That's just a great
example.
tackle.
That's
Damn.
another beautiful
Tomori.
example of the art of defense right there. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, Tomori on that was pretty incredible. That
Chelsea.
recovery run, he lost him. Pessina left him in the dust, but Tomori with that recovery run, beautiful, hard tackle, but got it cleanly. But it looks like Pessina might be suffering over here.
I'm surprised Chelsea let Tomori go.
Oh man, big
Well,
mistake.
the
That's
guy
a big
wasn't getting any
mistake.
minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
Was he? I don't think he
No,
was
he
playing,
was.
right?
He wasn't getting a lot of. He wasn't a starter. He wasn't getting
No.
minutes, and with that loan move to Milan, that kind of secured. All the Milan fans loved him. He was incredible. He already
Yeah.
won a starting spot over Romagnoli,
Yeah.
so which was incredible. Which
I-
never happens, man.
Speaking
Never
of, I
happens.
wonder what happens to Romagnoli as time goes on and he's sitting on a big contract.
You're right. Muriel looks like he is warming up.
So Muriel and Pasalic.
I would
too.
consider Romagnoli a return. I wouldn't be afraid of it.
Do you
if the
think he
money
could be a
was right.
starter for Roma
Starter
right now? Because you guys have Ibanez, you have
No.
Mancini, you have Smalling.
I think
No.
he could start for Roma.
He could, but he wouldn't. With Smalling in fitness and Mancini and Ibanez, I don't see it. He would start over Kumbula, probably.
Oh, Kumbula, too.
But-
You guys have a few center backs, man.
But yeah, no.
Wow.
And listen, that's a
Unless-
good problem to have when you have a lot of
Yeah.
options
Yeah.
there, because especially once you're going to have Roma now that they're competing. And don't get me wrong, I've been supporting Roma for a long time, Wayne. I never got a chance to meet you before to tell you that, because I have a lot of my family that are from Rome.
Uh-huh.
And I've been noticing how Rome, just this year, they're exploding on a whole
Yeah.
other level. They're firing on all cylinders.
They're starting to click.
Yeah, and I think definitely now that they're going to be competing again for Champions League and European qualification and positioning there, they're going to need that extra option in defense, whether it's in Serie A, Coppa Italia, Champions League, wherever they end up. It'd be definitely a great acquisition if they can pick him up. It'd be sad to see him go because, again, he's the Capitano with us, but it
Money
seems like,
talks.
yeah, unfortunately, at the end of the day.
And plus, if he's not a starter, man, it's, he could be a
Yeah.
starter somewhere else.
He's going to be what? He's going to be almost 30 years old, no?
I think
How
so.
old is he? 28?
Maybe.
28, 29.
So I want to name, or I just caught on to 5 players that we mentioned when we were talking about Tonali. And Mike, before you and I were talking about, who was it? Locatelli. And how these players, they stick around for the love
Look
of
at
the
Messina.
team.
Sorry, not to interrupt you, Wayne.
Ooh.
I hope he's all right.
Messina
doesn't-
stretchered off.
that does not look good at
Hopefully
all.
he's okay, man.
Oof.
That was
Anyway, how these guys, for better or worse, stick to the team that they love. And of Italy's top 6 teams, and I'm going to exclude Atalanta, so we'll take it to the top 5 here. I say top, but I want to include Atalanta, but not for this. Insigne, Napoli, stays at the team he loves. Locatelli transfers to the team he loves. Probably could have gotten more money elsewhere. Pellegrini, just renewed with Roma for 5 more years. He's the captain. Tonali stays, takes a pay cut for
yeah.
Milan. Barella plays for the team that he grew up loving, is probably going to be the captain. These are 5 players out of... I can't think of another league where this has happened, where you have 5
You have a point.
main key
Very good
players who are staying above perhaps better opportunities to win more for the respective team that they love, where they're from or that they grew up watching. That's pretty remarkable. That shows you like how much of emotional decisions goes into being Italian. This is not just like
You do have a good point there, Wayne. Also, I feel like this decision has been more of a pastime. Like more back in the day, maybe you can see players like in a different league, maybe Gerrard staying or Lampard or whatever for Chelsea. But now it's less
I was
and
even
less.
going to mention to say that
Less.
Ronaldo even rejoining United, his club where he kind of really.
But that wasn't because of that. That was kind of
I know.
he
I was
had a
just
very
trying-
few options.
Thanks for killing the appreciate it. Thank you very much. But but yeah, you guys are right. But yeah, it's interesting because you think in football with these modern views where money talks and that the love for the team and the love for the club isn't the same as it used to be. But then Wayne put it perfectly, where you see all these young guys, they're putting money aside, like Tonali's putting money aside, plenty of these guys to be able to stick with the club that they grew up with,
Yeah.
and that was literally their dream to be able to play. And it's a beautiful thing to see, especially now in modern football, that we still have these more traditional values.
Yeah, leaving money on the table because of love. Serie A.
That's a good one. That could be a nice little clip there, Wayne. That's good.
You got to make sure you give Wayne credit for that. Dylan Antonio, take that one.
That's good.
I wish Antonio was here right now.
He's actually vacationing in Miami.
No
What?
way.
Yeah, he sent us a little picture. I gotta show you guys.
hitting the clubs?
Chilling. No,
He's on South
he's
Beach
there with
over
his
there?
family.
He could still be
I'm
hitting
not
the clubs
sure,
with his
to be
family.
honest.
Yeah,
Knowing Antonio.
But
definitely knowing Antonio, yeah.
When I was coming down 6th Ave, was I on 6th Ave or Bay Ridge Parkway today, getting here, I saw somebody in a white Vespa and a red helmet. And I was like, nah. I wished it was him, but I know his is red.
that's
So I
funny. That's funny.
was just wishing that it was.
I'll never forget the last time I saw him recently. Around nearby me, there's this Italian supermarket that I go to. My family, we all shop at. And I remember I was at the checkout aisle, and I remember out of nowhere I heard from the other end of the supermarket, "You ready for Milan to win today?" We're gonna take those losers. I heard him from the other end of the mark. I said, who else is that?
You could have closed your eyes and you could have.
Where were you?
Pastosa?
No, Frank and Sal on 18th Avenue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I couldn't like it. It's so his voice is just embedded there. It's almost like how could you mistake that guy?
Sure. Oh,
get in
Zapata
there.
Zapacosta's dangerous.
Yeah,
Look
he
at
is.
that.
He's very active on that right wing.
He's looking physical. I like it. See him, really reaching his potential with this Atalanta.
Mm-hmm. And kind of going back to what you mentioned before, Wayne, how people were kind of counting him out to a certain extent because of the ACL. It's remarkable to see that even with Genoa, he was able to put up some pretty decent numbers. And then now even with Atalanta, he's just taking that whole side.
He's killing it.
Oh, yeah. Good for him.
And I think ACL tears, I am not a physical therapist, but I've been to a lot of physical therapy. And I think that in the past 10, 15 years, it has changed. It's evolved. Compared to when Kaká got hurt, that was it. Kaká was never the same. Mm-hmm. But I think for this new generation, they're really lucky because physical therapy has adapted, it's evolved. And players, it no longer means that if you're 22 and you get an ACL tear, that you're done and it's over. That's very nice because look at how many injuries we have.
No, Wayne, 100%. Actually, me and Sebastian were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Sebastian's in the medical field, so he was saying how it really evolved altogether. Sebastian, take over. I know nothing about this.
I mean, looking at how medicine and even technology in medicine has evolved, and coming from my experience, I'm a medical student actually. So, and it's great because one of the rotations that I was working with in an orthopedic surgery department, we got the chance to work with multiple different athletes of all young ages. And I remember it's amazing to see all the different techniques that have adapted and changed based on all different research that they had before, all the new technology. Even for an example, like when it comes to something as simple as running on a treadmill is something much more different now today that you'll see, because you'll see all these athletes that are running on these zero gravity treadmills, all this new technology that's available, and hopefully is becoming more available to younger athletes all across the board to be able to kind of help them recover, because you're able to take off so much of the pressure and attention in them recovering when it comes to physical therapy. Multiple different programs and technology that they use today to be able to literally make an ACL injury what seems like it was career ending years ago to now just a little bump in the road
or something, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I mean, a player like Zaniolo too, that's been coming back and
twice, right? And then
how insane is that? Like 20 years ago, that wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, especially
he'd be looking for another job.
Well, even somebody else that in recent history, even Giuseppe Rossi, they have other players like that who, let's say, for example, if it was more of a modern day situation like a Zaniolo, where you're seeing he's able to come back after literally back-to-back years where he was suffering because of one ACL and then the other ACL. It makes a whole difference in a player's career now and what they're able to now do and be able to move forward.
I loved Beppe.
Absolutely.
I really, really loved watching him. Not just because of New Jersey, but he was amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, do you think he's Brazilian with how he plays?
Yeah.
Oh, forget about it.
He's from New Jersey.
Ooh, Rebic on that run.
Vaiante.
Oh, Musso gets to it quick, though.
Hi, Musso.
And Musso's been a pretty, I mean, aside from that small blip that he had in the beginning right there, he's been a pretty big position, big shoes to fill from Golini, but he's able to step up this year, even in Champions League.
For sure. I mean, Musso, exactly. Coming to a team and he never had a Champions League appearance, I think he fit in quite well. He has great reflexes, a great shot stopper. And I do feel like overall he's a better goalkeeper than Golini, because I feel like Golini does lack in some aspects overall. But I really think Musso was a great buy from Atalanta.
Ball. Come on, Leao.
Brahim.
Oh boy. 30 minutes in, but it's pretty back and forth. I'd say maybe Atalanta the past 15 minutes have had the ball a little bit more, but Milan are pretty organized, not letting them have a real sniff at goal though.
I like that.
And just as you said that, we lost possession.
Yeah, seriously, that was a great tackle. Look at Zapata, man. He's attacking, he's defending, winning tackle. Yo, this guy does everything.
He's everywhere.
And this guy was there's a lot of rumors of him being linked away, possibly Inter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was a huge step for Atalanta to keep a player like him, man.
A much more expensive transfer, compared to Dzeko.
He would have been around 40 million.
Yeah. So 40 plus salary, you amortize that, you're looking at a big yearly wage. That you have to pay out in total. Compared to Dzeko, they could get a stopgap, kind of reorganize their finances.
Right.
he was remotivated. It works.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame
absolutely.
them, but that's Atalanta's gain by keeping him.
I mean, Dzeko, so far, Marotta has done incredible business with Inter,
Marotta's
and there's an
smart.
amazing stat we posted. Dzeko's the first player since El Fenomeno to score at least 6 goals in Inter's first 7 games.
He has
That's
6
that's
goals?
insane.
How crazy is that?
That's insane.
6 goals.
Yesterday he came in, he scored a goal, he won a penalty
He's
just
the
by coming as a super. He's incredible.
He's the super sub.
He can start. He can come in as a sub. He's very good. He's very
So
good.
mad.
He's so experienced.
That's
though.
what. Wait, I mean, I've been meaning to ask you about that. I was thinking about that earlier. How do you feel about now Dzeko with his newfound form over there?
I would always take Tammy over Dzeko any day in this current state.
That makes sense.
I could see Dzeko last. He'll keep having some decent statistics. Is he going to do it all season long? Nah. He's going to break down.
Okay,
And
You think so?
Yeah, and once Dzeko loses his motivation, that's it. It's like having a tree out there. He can get slow. He can miss easy chances.
We've seen
So
that.
for the past 2 years, he really frustrated me, and I was just begging in my head, for a new number 9. And I didn't want it to be the wrong guy though. And I was glad that we kept Dzeko instead of making the bad purchase or the not well thought out, just kind of.
Their quick replacement just to fill in
Yeah.
someone, right?
Yeah. So if it had been someone like Quagliarella 2-3 years ago, I would say, okay, yeah, I understand it. But to wait that time and then get Tammy, to me, it was great.
And to be honest,
that.
I think Tammy fits Mourinho and Roma great because
So much better.
I feel like Tammy, first of all, he's younger. Second of all, I feel like he's more of an all-around striker rather than Dzeko because he's gonna be running for those balls. Dzeko's not gonna
Yeah.
be running in defense. He's not as quick
No.
as Tammy at the end of the day. He has a great eye for assists. He's always
Yeah.
looking at his teammates.
You build around that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. And a great young talent like him, I think Roma are building an incredible project, especially having Pellegrini there, Cristante there, Veretout there. They have, maybe you could say maybe an older player, Mkhitaryan, but he's great. Zaniolo there. I mean,
Yeah.
they're building an incredible thing. And I
Yeah.
think it was the time to move
the
on
time.
from Dzeko. You
Yeah.
needed that next step.
Yeah.
And no bad blood.
No,
It's
absolutely
cordial.
not.
Dzeko
Dzeko wanted to go the past couple of seasons, so he wanted to go there.
Yeah.
Roma got a great replacement, so both parties are happy, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember maybe if it was last year or the year before that he was on the plane on the way up to sign a contract.
He may have been. Yeah, it
Wasn't
was something.
I know he was.
crazy,
I know he was
like-
close to
It
Inter.
was
Time
like
ran
very
out.
close.
I think they were having meetings with the sporting director at the time for Inter, but
Okay.
I don't think it materialized a couple of seasons ago, and he
Yeah.
ended up staying. I remember that actually.
Let's see. I like that Atalanta is just on the entire time. Like
Yeah.
as soon as they get the ball back, everyone goes back up the
Oh,
field,
yeah.
and Gasperini really
They're a
pushing them
unit.
to
They
it.
defend together. They attack together. They're insane.
People have been comparing him to Saki with the way the team moves constantly up and down the field and how it's kind of that close game where they're moving back and forth. Like you have players like Zapata are still coming all the way to the back to defend, and you even have players like Zappacosta, who's as a defender, as a right back, coming up to be able to attack there in the final third. It's amazing what they're able to do.
They're like a well-drilled unit, and they've been like this the past few seasons. To be honest, my early predictions too, I've said on the podcast, it just looked like it looked like I was nervous. I saw Atalanta the first few games, and I was like, man, I feel like the magic has faded with them. They didn't look good. But then considering they didn't have Roon, Muriel was out, Zapata was out at a certain thing, having those players back, you really saw, I was like, man, these guys didn't lose it. It's like these guys still have it. Even with Gosens out, Hateboer's been out forever, I feel like, due injury. Unfortunately, Gosens was out from the Champions League.
I almost forgot about Hateboer. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Hateboer's been out. But when he plays, I haven't seen him play in a while because he's been out for a long time. But he's great. I mean, Mila's taking his position with Zappacosta for those wing backs, and those wing backs have attracted attention all over Europe. And I'm surprised no one snatched any of them up.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. They've been great. They've been absolutely great.
I thought Gosens would have been at Juventus by now.
that was the big rumor.
Thank God he's not.
Thank
God he's
that
not.
would have been a huge boost for Juventus over there
Yeah.
instead of Sandro. But yeah, Edison actually said in the comment, guys, you guys are all talking, but what about Napoli? We gotta shed light on Napoli. Napoli. Ooh,
Where's Phil?
Rebic on the counter.
Daiante.
Oh, that bitch! Oh boy!
Almost got I will bolt the cuts.
Jim City did
Demiral.
not get fooled. Demiral did not get fooled. Yeah.
Wow. What about?
Demiral on loan from Juventus, by the way.
Oh, what a counter here.
Pass it to Zappa. Oh.
Ay,
Grande
they lost
Tomori.
it.
Look at that. Tomori's everywhere. Look at that.
Napoli is my team to win the Scudetto. If I had a $100 bill
Wow. Okay.
and I had to place that bet on one team right now to win the Scudetto, it's Napoli. I look at a team and I see pretty much every important player in the prime of their career.
Okay.
Osimhen is back. He's healthy. He's also a year older, and he's 1 year more acclimated to Serie A and Italian football.
Okay.
They've got all the pieces. Insigne is
Coming off a Euro.
yeah, he just won it for his team. He was one of the most important players on the Azzurri. So he comes back with that energy. He's the captain. He's motivating everybody around him. How could Napoli not win this?
I mean, they have Anguissa. They found this gem out of nowhere. This guy.
Fulham of all places.
He took the league by storm. The first time I saw, I was like, Anguissa, who's this guy? I was like, who knows if he'll be good or not? Yo, this guy stole my heart, man. He was everywhere. He went on every part of the pitch. He was incredible.
Yeah.
He was tackling. He was motivating. He had he has 10 lungs. He doesn't stop running.
He's got 10
that
lungs.
dude, that guy was an absolute steal. Napoli have to secure him for the next 10 years or something.
Yeah.
Because that guy is no fluke. That guy is the real deal. Fabian is looking.
Fabian's been reborn this year.
He's looking incredible.
He's on it.
He's scoring, dude. His long shots. He's passing. His vision. Napoli look like the real deal. Politano. They got Lozano that can come off the bench. They have Almas that can come off the bench. Mertens is healthy again that can come off.
Yeah, he
I
played
mean,
today.
their bench is good too. I mean, there's so much.
Stacked.
They got so much going for them
This
right
is
now.
De Laurentiis' year. This
You
is
think
it,
so?
I think.
Dude,
Yeah.
7
I think
games,
under Spalletti.
7 wins. First time in their history that this happened.
Nuts.
I don't know if this means something. A lot of people thought Fiorentina were going to do something against them. They ended up conceding first against Fiorentina, but they ended up scoring 2 goals, getting the 3 points. Incredible win from them. And that's the question I think that has to be asked. Could they do it? Are they the team?
They're gonna do it.
Or do you think they can slip off?
Spalletti's not going to let it happen. He's going to demand it. He knows this is
But
his
Spalletti
year too.
has never been that coach to win it. That's another thing.
Thank you, Mike. You just took the.
He won it at Zenit, but he hasn't won it in a top 5 league.
It's a very different league than playing in St. Petersburg. It's not, and not to knock anything on Zenit, but it's a completely different league.
No, it's a more
completely
difficult
different
league.
team, too.
It's a difficult league.
I think they have the perfect storm. An excellent coach who has been so close a few different times, who has often, when he takes a new team, played the best football that team has played. He's revolutionized formation. Under 2005 Roma, he comes in, Totti, invents the false 9 position. So he not just has a good way of playing football, but he adapts.
And he got the most
And he
points
can
for
figure it out.
Roma ever in their history
Yes.
that season.
Yes.
That says a lot.
So regardless if he hasn't won it yet, no, I see it as the perfect storm for Napoli with a great manager and players who are in their prime and very good players. Mertens, if he can get some time off the bench and he starts to sense that they can actually win something, he's going to pick it up too. He's going to get a little bit of pep in his step, and he's going to be there. And don't sleep on him. And like we've said with the rest of the bench, if it's Politano getting in there, Chucky,
Look at Leao.
Oh, gets a corner.
Zielinski, and
Oh,
Osimhen's
yeah.
going to keep in banging goals.
Oh, yeah.
He's not slowing down. So I think it's if you got a compass right now, it's pointing towards Napoli.
Another question for both you guys. If Napoli, when they lose a game, they're not going to go undefeated. It's almost impossible.
Let's be real.
That's almost impossible. If they lose or get that draw, I want to see how they react the game after. How will they? It's fun and easy. Everyone's winning now. Everyone has a good spirit, pep in their step. But if they lose, if they draw in the Serie A, how are they going to react the game after? That's what I want to see. And then I think I can determine if they can go for that Scudetto run.
Yeah, and I think they will lose, and it'll be against a big team.
A big
That's
team?
gonna be
You don't think
interesting.
it's going to be
I don't think they're gonna. Here we go.
Sandrino!
Tonali doubles the
Hey,
score
Connor,
for Milan!
that's 2 on the year.
Oh, man.
Sandro
a goal! We were talking about him. The team he supported, Sandro Tonali, doubles the lead right before halftime for Milan.
Mike, what did I tell you before this game? We're taking these 3 points back.
Wow.
Clinical.
Wow. Incredible.
Look
he
at
put that
that.
away like a number
Just
9.
when it looked like Atalanta were knocking on the door, doing something, Milan strike.
Incredible.
And they double the lead.
I can't believe this.
He is, oh my God, wow. Look at that. He just bossed him. He said, you know what? Take it. Boom.
He ripped Freuler.
He ripped it.
Freuler could not.
Musso didn't even know which way to look.
Freuler, big mistake. Great steal by Tonali. Bad communication.
Sandrinho. Look at that. Beauty.
I would have never anticipated in the first half, Atalanta at home down by 2 goals. This place used to be a fortress.
Not anymore.
I mean, don't speak too soon.
Listen.
If any team that I would say for a comeback, I'd give it Atalanta. These guys never stop running to the last second. 2 goals for them, I think, is nothing. They scored almost 100 goals last season.
True.
That's
So,
true. Yeah.
These guys are no slouch, and they have a lot of weapons on the bench that they can bring in.
Yeah,
Like Pasalic, Mourinho.
Muriel.
Muriel. I always got Mourinho on my
Got
mind.
the Mourinho on the mind. It's all the mind games.
Malinchuk.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Right before half. That's a big goal right before halftime too. Wow, Tonali, great awareness to take that ball from Freuler that was sleeping.
He's literally become the signing that everybody's been waiting for. It's incredible to have that kind of presence in the midfield, to be able to do it in all different areas on the field, man. Look at that.
Sebastian, do you start him over Benacer? Does he lock into your starting 11 or?
Tonali, absolutely.
So over Benacer is second after him.
I would say so, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big one.
And again, going
Okay.
not to kind of completely go off topic, but going back to our discussion prior, if Napoli could do it.
Cassia with the shot. And goes out.
Not to go completely off topic from what we were talking about here with Tonali and Benacer, but something that's going to be crucial, that's going to make or break a lot of these teams this year in coming up in the middle of the season. You're going to have the Copa de Africa.
Oh, that's right.
So the African Cup over there is going to be happening in January, right in the middle of when everybody's playing. So teams like Napoli are going to be suffering because you're going to be missing those guys like Koulibaly,
Oshiman,
Anguissa.
Yeah.
And we're going to be missing 2 players too. I mean, assuming that Kessie is staying with us in January, we're going to be missing 2 of our starting midfielders from last year. So having Tonali as a starter, and especially having him in that starting role right now, is going to be so important and crucial for us to be able to maintain our form in the season.
No, 100%. And I feel like there's a lot of dip during the African Cup of Nations, too, for these teams that, are fielding these players that go away for national team duty. So that's another thing. Napoli are missing more starters than any other Serie A team in terms of the big 7. So that's going to say a lot. Could they replace someone like Koulibaly will Manolas and Rahmani? Could they get the job done? Will they have Deme instead of Anguissa? Will they have Petagna instead of Oshiman? Could they get those wins without those players at the end of the day?
That's a big drop.
That's a big what if there.
It is. So it's a multiple, and preventing injuries. There's so many aspects to this. If someone gets injured, who knows when he'll come back? Who knows if the replacement will be good enough? There's a lot of moving parts.
And not to discredit Napoli and their incredible start. Now, I don't know if they're anywhere close to the record for one of the best starts in the Serie A season, but they've been firing on all cylinders. But again, we have to remember, this is a very long season. And again, depending on how, like you mentioned before, after their first loss, having any players, hopefully they'll all stay healthy over there in after the African Cup of Nations. That's going to be crucial for them being able to move forward. And again, historically, we've seen Oshiman last year, unfortunately, he suffered from COVID, and then he had another injury, which was a big deficit in Napoli's attacking end over there. So, again, our players like Petagna are going to step up. Is Mertens going to come back into the form he was in before? I'm a little skeptical. I don't know.
Well, a lot of time to see. That's what I'm saying. We got it's October, so we got still a couple more months till we start seeing them go away. And the African Cup of Nations is a demanding competition. You play every few days.
Yeah.
The whole tournament's in a month. Like most of these national team tourneys. So, and if everyone avoids injury, they'll be coming back in February. It depends how far the countries go in the thing. But yeah, that's just another thing to see. But as I say that, the halftime whistle blows. Milan have a huge 2-0 win away at Bergamo. and everything looks like it's going according to plan to Pioli's men. Wow.
Jeez.
Sebastian, halftime thoughts? Just basically what they did good, what they did wrong, what Atalanta do good, what they do wrong.
Well, if we're going to be perfectly diplomatic over here, and I can have my personal opinion, but my
Yeah, of
professional
course.
opinion.
You can go personal.
I mean, I think Milan's doing exactly what they were going to go in there and do. I knew from the beginning that this was the kind of energy they're going to go in there with, and they needed to go in there with that attacking energy, especially in the beginnings, putting Atalanta on their heels, on the back foot. They needed to be able to establish that tempo right from the get-go and be able to command the control of the game, of the pace of the game, and they're doing exactly that. In terms of things that we need to kind of work on, keeping possession, I see that they're kind of letting Atalanta move around with the ball a lot in the middle over there, and they're getting a lot of open chances to be able to attack. They're just very lucky that Milan has been effective in being able to stop them on that last line of defense with Tomori. He's doing great. They need to keep that up and keep up that energy, and most importantly, that they can't fall asleep right now because, like you said, Atalanta is a team that if you drop for 1 second your attention, you lose that energy, lose that focus, they'll come back and make you pay for it. So as long as we keep up that energy, I think we're going to be able to succeed with that, with those 3 points at the end of the day.
Well said. Wayne, you see anything that Sebastian didn't point out?
I'm so impressed by Tomori. Just the
great,
way
man.
he's handling a
He's
team that throws everybody forward with actually his center backs overlapping center midfielders. So they're applying so much pressure. You have Zapata there, who is almost impossible to handle. And Tomori looks like he's as cool as a cucumber. This guy's chilling. He's unbelievably composed back there. And just before I forget, with the second goal that Tonali scores, what impresses me most about it is not the way that he tucks it away and, nice one slotted in the corner. It's that he chases down the defender. Yeah. He's a center midfielder who plays a little deeper. He chases him down, presses him, and then overtakes him. That is so hard, especially as somebody who's playing in the center of the pitch. Incredible. You're not, really required to have that much press on. You are now surpassing him, taking it away, getting past, sprinting. That's an incredibly athletic play by Tonali. So when we talk about those comparisons between him and Gattuso, man, I saw the heart of Gattuso just now. That's a ridiculous play. And I can't imagine how this guy... I don't know. We're just the Azzurri are so stacked in the midfield, and I've always got my eye on the World Cup, but he's got to be there somewhere.
Yeah.
Can't you say at this point? Yeah. I mean, I know. I don't always watch Milan every Sunday, but my gut impression is the same it was 2 years ago when I watched Tonali. That this guy has just a really unique profile, and I don't see him stopping. He's only going to get better and increasingly better at that. So much room for growth with him.
And a lot of people were egging him on. I feel like a lot of the Inter and Juventini were egging on the Milan fans saying, "Oh, look at Tonali. He hasn't amounted to anything, or he's not good." When early jitters, obviously, as a kid coming from Brescia, going to a team like Milan, it's not gonna be easy. There's so many eyes on you, so much pressure. Playing for your boyhood club, you've been supporting your whole life. But he's been incredible. He's been giving Benasser a run for his money, to say the least.
Dude.
But
Benasser's been so important to Milan. And for him to come and replace him I think that says a lot. I think Pioli makes a statement with that choice.
I mean, in a way, I wouldn't necessarily view it as just a replacement.
No,
yes,
there's going to be a lot of rotation.
There's a lot of rotation that's in there because,
they're
again,
playing three comps.
If you're playing in three competitions, you need that midfield. That's the success to all these teams. Like, you look at all these historic winning teams like Real Madrid, Chelsea. They have the depth, and they have the depth in every position. You can have any player that would be competing for the starting 11, and just because they're not in the starting 11 for one competition, they're there for the next, and they're there to be able to give you that infrastructure and that good system, and that systematic rotation is key there. Mike hit it right on the head right there.
I mean, since Wayne brought it up earlier, I was going to bring it up a little bit later, but Tonali for the Azzurri, we know he did not get the call-up. There's a lot of people mad about it, and I just want to quickly talk about it, and a few other players that didn't get called up. Calabria, Tonali, Politano, Zaniolo, Moiskin are just a few of the complaints that from people and fans that said, "Oh, these guys should have got called up." Who do you take from that list, or anyone else that you had in your mind that should be called up, you think? That Mancini has been slacking on, you think?
It's Mancini from Roma.
Mancini from Roma?
Yeah. Oh. Mancini has been slacking on Mancini.
Okay.
In the sense that looking forward for years to come, I see it as him and Bastoni. I see the two of them together.
The future for that Zuri.
Yeah, and it's got to start now. Even if he's not going to get time,
Okay, that's fair.
I think he's got to be there learning. If you're going to take, under the same token, if you're going to take a guy like Ibra for locker room purposes and just to be there and be around the squad, then it has to work the same way for the younger players as well, even if they're just not ready right now to be in the starting 11. They have to.
You have a point. I mean,
that's a pretty good point
there's
there,
some
I agree.
oldies in here like Toloi, Acerbi. I mean, Chiellini, Bonucci obviously are older. But you're saying maybe sacrificing maybe an older player like that and bring in some new blood?
I even think Emerson. I don't know if Emerson should be there.
You don't think?
I think
he hasn't
I would
got a lot of minutes at Chelsea, right?
I think I would give Calafiori the run. He's been really good.
18-year-old Calafiori.
I think I'd give him the run.
Mourinho likes him, I tend to agree with Mourinho. I think he's great.
I mean, considering he's the third option and he's been taking his chance when Vigna and Spinazzola have been out, he looked pretty good. He had a couple assists.
Yeah, he came in and
he's not
dominated
scared,
on that side.
man.
He was trotting all around all the defense on the other end, just moving the ball around, giving the ball to Tammy and letting them do the job.
Yeah.
I saw Emerson in the Euros, and you know what? He was our weakest link.
I mean, I think it looked like that just because Spinazzola's so good.
He was
You
so
know what I mean?
good, yeah.
Those are
Dude,
big shoes to fill.
Spinazzola,
He was man of the match
Big
every match.
shoes to
Dude,
fill.
Spinazzola is top tier, bro.
Yeah.
What he did in the year, I was so mad at the injury. He was so good, man. That guy
Yeah.
was relentless. So everyone, when they saw a few games, everyone was linked to him. Everyone was
Yeah.
like, okay, Mourinho's like, crap, they're gonna spend a fortune on this guy. I'm gonna lose him.
I can't wait till he gets back.
But they are saying within the next few months, hopefully by January, February, we're gonna start seeing him slowly implemented back. And I
Yeah.
definitely think that's gonna be like a new signing for Roma. That
Yeah.
guy's gonna defensively, offensively, he can dribble, he can pretty much do just about everything. When he's on form, he really seems like one of the best fullbacks currently.
Yeah.
That guy's on fire. And under Mourinho, I'd love to see how he's gonna be playing. I'm
Yeah.
so excited for him.
I like to see on the other side as well. Calabria is pretty much making a claim for that right now. Florenzi's
Dude, I'm
not
surprised
gonna be
Mancini still hasn't called him up.
It's
Calabria, man,
strange.
deserves it.
Yeah.
I mean, considering you guys have who's over here? You have Di Lorenzo.
I like Di Lorenzo.
Lazzari didn't get called up, but Lazzari's also been called up ahead of him in previous call-ups.
There's been something going on with Lazzari lately. I've been seeing him play. I remember in the beginning of the season, he came out right through the gates with a goal.
He dipped, man.
Yeah,
He dipped.
He just declined. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. I don't know if he got exposed in terms of he goes up a lot and he gets caught on the counter.
Yeah.
I feel like he isn't track. His positioning isn't the best when the ball is lost and the counterattack goes on the other side. I feel like Lazio are on the back foot when that happens.
Look at this, and that's the prime example right there. He needs the call up. Look at that,
Calabria.
from a right fullback coming up and bursting through the middle over there and just taking it. Look at that. What a
Great.
beautiful goal.
Great goal. Yeah, a little fortunate, but regardless, in these games that these inches matter.
Yeah.
Look at Zapata though. How good is
He's-
Zapata?
He's a beast. Look at that. But look at that again.
Atalanta-
And that's Tonali right there. So
Yeah.
he's not only doing it on the
yeah.
defensive end,
You're
he's
right.
coming up and putting the ball in the
Offensively.
back of the net too. Look
Well,
at that.
well said, Sebastian. No, either. I mean, but Atalanta had so many chances, man. But Magnan, this guy is the guardian over there. It is so hard to get past this guy.
He's everywhere, Magic Mike. Look at that.
Who would have thought Donnarumma, the best goalkeeper, leaving, and Milan don't have any goalkeeping issues at all? How you can say Roma from Allison, they had so many goalkeeping issues the past few seasons. These guys, a week later, they got it's a seamless
So bad.
transition.
It's a beautiful
Went
transition.
years after Allison with
Oh,
this
yeah.
guy and that guy. And
Oh, Allison that season, man, that guy was on top of the top of the top. That guy was
best.
on something else.
loved Allison.
Man, so also we have our boy Marco right now talking over here, and it is on Paramount Plus, guys. You can catch all the Serie A games, not just Serie A though. You can catch Copa Italia, Copa Italia. You can watch the Champions League games, the Europa League games, the Conference League games exclusively on Paramount Plus. So make sure you check the link in the description to check it out. Guys, they're huge Serie A fans. We're working with them, doing a lot of stuff with them, and they're always improving to get Serie A to where it belongs. And definitely check them out. They're insane. Guys, we got to talk about the substitutions. What do Atalanta, we talked about Milan, what do Atalanta got to do to come back in the second half? And Wayne appeared with a wild pumpkin over
we got
here.
the pumpkin, yes.
I wanted to put my prop.
Okay.
Just setting up my little zone.
Are you making pumpkin pie for us, Wayne? Is this a hint or something?
Yes. It's feeling very festive.
It's that time of the year.
I wanted to give the studio a little, Halloween flair.
Okay,
All right.
I like it.
Get it set up. I'm big into the
Nice.
seasons.
Cool.
My mugs, dish, all that type
Awesome.
of stuff.
What's your favorite season throughout the year?
I would say Christmas Eve is my favorite holiday.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, just because I think of my mom cooking and we do all the different types of seafood. My family comes
Nice.
over to my
Awesome.
house. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
But yeah, I love the change of seasons, just being in like a orange sweater by the campfire, watching a little Serie A.
Can't
Very
beat that,
comfortable.
right?
Nah, I like
That's
that.
good.
Hmm.
But yeah, I want to just quickly go over Atalanta's bench. And Sebastian, I know you're a Milan fan, but if you were Gasperini, say, for the next few minutes, you tell me what you think Atalanta have to do, and hopefully they're not listening to you, so they can
Hopefully they're not listening.
take your
Hopefully they're not listening.
take your changes.
Well, definitely the one and the biggest weapon that they have on their bench right now is Muriel, and he's going to have to come in to be able to kind of definitely provide the same kind of element he provided last year with coming off of the bench in the second half and being able to put on performances to stun everybody, coming off with the speed, the power that he has. He's definitely one of the big attacking elements there. I don't think you take off Zapata right away because he still provides an element to be able to hold the ball and be able to give him that opportunity, to be able to give him that space. So I think with those two up top, I think that's probably going to be very dangerous for Milan, and Milan's going to have to be prepared for that. I definitely think him coming in would be a big element there to be able to kind of help them step up their
And
game.
we also got Ilicic, Pioli, who's been their Primavera player. He's born and bred in Bergamo. He scored a couple of late winners or late goals. I think one was taken away. I forgot who it was against.
Against Inter.
Was it against Inter?
Yeah, he scored. It was the 3-2. It was the go-ahead goal.
Oh, yes,
And
you're
Andanovic
right.
had the ball go right out right before and ruined it for everybody because that would have been such a beautiful day.
You're right.
But
Beautiful day.
I'm only saying that because
Milan.
Peter's not here because of the
Yeah.
fact that I kind of get my free range here today. But
That's funny.
but yeah, I mean, listen, Piccoli is another one who's devastating over
Him. Don't forget Miranchuk, who's on the bench. Pasalic, Coop Miners.
That bench is crazy.
Dude,
Wow, they have so
got-
much depth.
Another thing is they did use a substitution
Right.
early on. So right now they only have 2 more windows to make the substitutions, excluding the halftime one, unless they make, because that counts as a freebie for
That
the
counts as a
window.
freebie, right?
Yeah. So I want to see if Gasperini is going to wait a little bit, because they are down 2-0. They can't wait that long. If he
No.
does wait, it's got to be 5 or 10 minutes the most, and start doing some subs. But if they do end up getting an early goal, that could definitely buy them some time and see who they want to bring in. But I definitely see Muriel or Ilicic definitely coming in to try to change this game over here.
What he's been doing lately that I noticed, which was very interesting, he always tends to bring in Piccoli and Ilicic later on in the half if they've ever struggled before. He's never really brought them on early on, so I don't know if he's going to technically, maybe now it's different because of the circumstances.
But he's never really been down 2-0 too. I don't think either.
That's also true. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how he and the team react because they're not used to being in that situation traditionally.
Exactly.
So depending on how they come out with the right foot, and I'm actually think I'm going to grab my prop real
Yeah.
quick. I can't one up Wayne because he's got the season.
Oh
prop.
boy.
That's pretty cool.
You guys are trying to top each other over here.
No, not at all. I just brought this today because in honor of whose birthday it is, I wanted to be able to kind of have this out on the table.
Oh boy. Okay.
I picked this up when
Wait, you got to say in the mic so everyone can hear though.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. So, I picked this up when I was in Milan back a few years ago. So,
That's a beauty, Seba.
yeah, right over
Wow.
there, if everybody can see that.
Show them the seven Champions League patch right there. Showing the camera nice and bright to the camera. So everyone can
Everybody see this? Everybody see this right here? I know one person who definitely doesn't have this undershirt, and that's Peter. Peter and Inter don't have that right there. We're going to get this bigger. Maybe not this year. Next year, we're coming back, baby. I want to have this. out here.
double digits hopefully in the next decade, all
Double
right?
digits for sure, man.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
We're coming after Madrid. We're going to be able to get that number one day.
Oh, and Wayne, quickly on Atalanta. They're down 2-0. this hasn't happened this season that they were down 2 goals. What do they have to do? What does Gasperini have to do to react right
He's
now?
got to go wide because they're not going to hit through the center of the pitch.
They look too strong there, right?
They're not getting
Nothing's
through that
passing,
pair.
right?
Not through the center.
So you're thinking
No way.
aerial?
I think so. I think that and applying a little bit more pressure along the wings of the top of the 18 of Milan's box. Keep
Okay.
looking a little bit for like a Tirajir. They might be able to make happen here. If Ilicic steps on, I wouldn't doubt that for a second against him. Malinovsky's got to get a little bit more involved as well. He wants to become a top player over the next 6 months, year. It's time to show that. No more. There's no time. Papu's not there.
Hoop miners for Demiral. Wow.
Wow, talk about an attacking substitution
Wow. Gasperini is not playing around over here.
Coop Miners, a highly rated player coming over from the Dutch league, I
Yeah,
there.
believe.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, he's somebody that when Mourinho was looking for a center mid, people were really upset that he went to Atalanta instead. So from the little I've seen about him, he seems like he can ping a pass pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
He gets up, he can keep the possession. I think that as Atalanta look to build a little bit more possession around their opponent's final third, that he could be a player which could really implement that. But, I haven't seen, nobody's seen too much of him just yet in Serie A, so there's a lot of questions about it.
Roberto actually said he
good
came
purchase.
from the Dutch league. AZ
From AZ.
Alkmaar. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Wow, I didn't expect that. And now, as we said before, they got the halftime window, so they still have 2 more windows to make 3 more substitutions for
Right.
Gasperini.
So one of them is going to be probably a double sub.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, if need to be, for sure. Now, if you guys are Milan, Sebastian, you're probably waiting for this. What do Milan do? Any substitutions? Are they looking good? What do you think from your point of view?
Right now, I personally think that the way it is, that they shouldn't change anything because
Keep
of
it
the
as
fact
is?
you want to keep the rhythm moving. You want to keep the same players' energy on the field. You want to keep everybody who's there kind of keep doing what you're doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and that kind of
Okay.
mentality.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I do think eventually when there's going to be a little bit of a dip because of the fact that we tend to be pushing very hard, we'll have a high press. We're going to need to bring in some support, so maybe it's a good idea to be able to bring in Benacer a little bit later on to kind of help manage the possession and kind of help holding on to the ball over there a little bit more. And I also think it's very important that we bring in Pellegrini at one point because Rebic, after all that time, he's going to be running around up there. You need a big guy to kind of help stop the ball. Keep Leao there because he's constantly moving down on the wing and causing a lot of problems over there. Kind of help set that up. I think Pellegrini's got to get the shot to come in today.
What do you think of Pellegrini overall? Because he has been kind of raw and hasn't seen too many minutes at the end of the day. So a lot of people are like skeptical, don't really know what side to take on him.
So it's kind of a question mark with Pellegrini because I think that he definitely has a lot of potential for sure because of the fact that he is coming out of not playing in Serie A for a few years. But I remember his stint with Genoa, he did tremendous. Maybe this was the move that he needed because I believe he was playing with Monaco before, and he struggled for quite a few years.
Spent a lot of money on him.
He was young.
Yeah,
but he got injured a few times, unfortunately.
And
He was
again,
a teenager.
yeah, when you have it, and like Wayne said, when you're a teenager and you're going to a foreign country, you're going to be able to put up. And Monaco at that point was looking for Champions League qualification. They were really kind of pushing the envelope over there, and they were really kind of a team that put a lot of pressure on a young guy like that. So
they're looking for the next Mbappe. I mean, they discovered Mbappe, so they're probably scouting,
So I think that definitely that he has a lot of promise, and I'm very happy with that signing because that's somebody definitely you wanted a young guy who has Serie A experience and who can definitely come in with the confidence to kind of relaunch his career and be able to kind of make a name for himself in Milano. And I think he's going to do great. You just need to kind of get a few more minutes in there, and with the right movement, with the right team, with the right place, I think he could do very well.
Wow, okay. I mean, you guys also have Giroud on the bench, players like Castillejo, also Maldini, who scored his first ever Serie A goal last round,
The
which was
legacy
nice.
continues.
Seeing his dad too on the sidelines being excited, that was beautiful to see. Also,
I wonder how that feels to be a Maldini. I would love to be a Maldini, man.
I just feel like you won at
who
life.
wouldn't, bro?
You won. Game over. Like you got to the final
Exactly.
round. You beat the boss.
And also, go.
You beat the
Oh, you
boss.
beat the boss. I was also gonna say Junior Messias also. Coming from Crotone, a lot of people saying it wouldn't be good enough. But I don't know if you guys seen a lot of Crotone matches. I have. Messias looked very good, even though, albeit it was Crotone that ended up going to Serie B. Dude, he was sick. He was passing. He had magic in his feet. He was dancing around everyone in the box. He was getting penalties left and right because everyone kept fouling him because they couldn't stop him.
Yeah. Right.
But we got to see what role Pioli's going to put him under. I think he could definitely be that great spark on the bench. I can come off the bench, become that super sub. If Milan are chasing a goal, he can definitely be that spark of energy. Just like I feel like how Politano or Lozano is for Napoli. Or Elmas. He's a similar kind of player like that.
Right.
That could play behind the striker or even on the wing. And I'm more excited than a lot of people. A lot of people are very pessimistic about him. I'm quite the opposite. I've seen him a lot, and I think he could do some damage at Milan if given enough chances.
And what I've seen in recent years,
It's raining in Bergamo, by the way.
Yeah, it is raining over there. Just started, it looks like. And one thing I noticed in recent years, there's a lot of pressure coming from the tifosi and from the Curva Sud and from all the supporters that they were saying this is not the sign that we wanted, this is not the guy. But I think it's a little too quick to say that because we haven't gotten a chance to see what he really can do. And like players like Tonali, where people at first were saying, oh, all the Inter fans and all the Juve fans were saying, oh, he's nothing what you guys scripted him to be. They kind of talked.
That was too quick. Whoa! Wow.
He's too fast.
He's too fast. Look at that.
Oh,
That's
boy.
exactly why you keep that guy in there.
Jeez.
But going back to Messias, I think we can't count him out just yet. I think we have to see what he can do. I think it's important to give the guy a shot to see because, again, he was threatening with people with Crotone, and he had no other support like that. And, again, a versatile player like that can cause a lot of damage.
No, I think you said it spot on. I think he's a force to be reckoned with. Wayne, have you seen enough of him to give a comment?
I haven't. Nah.
Okay. I mean, I do think he's gonna.
Sometimes
he's gonna prove some people
though, everyone wants the next Verratti
No,
or the next
100%.
Chiesa, and sometimes you got to make the pragmatic purchase and fill in the rest of the gaps on your team.
Right.
Might not always be the star player, that
Exactly.
guy.
Sometimes
And
it's
that's
a diamond in the rough, and you gotta carve him
Ante.
out.
Yeah.
Rebic
Ooh,
with the
the
fake.
stop.
Oh my
Katira
gosh.
G? No.
Bad
Bad,
pass,
bad.
but he gets it back. Nah,
Aye.
it's not a foul, bro. Rebic wanted a penalty. He held on to the
He just
ball.
hold on to the ball. That's the second time he did that
Dude,
this
I
week.
hate when players do that. When they think it's a foul, they hold on to it before the ref blows.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, come on, stop doing that.
Oh, but look at that. He got kicked in the face.
I think he touched the ball first.
Did he?
Yeah. That speed though from Leao.
It's dangerous, right?
Yo, that's something to really be concerned about. if
That
you're an
reminded me of
Atalanta fan.
Oshiman
Nice
with that
move.
speed today for Napoli, winning that penalty against Fiorentina.
That's a pullback. That's got to be a foul
Oh,
there.
boy.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
a yellow.
that's a yellow.
And now Atalanta.
He was out of position. He was trying to get back. in the
Tomori
lead.
gets a yellow. Now Atalanta have a very dangerous free kick right here outside the box.
Question is, who's going to take it? Who's usually the one that takes the free kicks for them? Because I know
I'm
there's
trying
a.
to think.
I think it would be Miranchuk, maybe. Not Miranchuk. Malinovskyi.
Yeah.
Malinovskyi's got one of the hardest foots in the league.
Messina got out. Yeah, maybe Malinovskyi. I don't think Zapata.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, we know Malinovsky shot from. This might be too close of a range for Malinovsky because Malinovsky used to score bangers from 40 yards out. You know
never
what
heard
I'm
of
saying?
being too close, but all right.
For Malinovsky, it might be.
for
He
this
needs
guy.
at least 30 yards for his shot to activate, to dance in midair.
Dance and float around, I guess.
You know
right?
what they gotta do? You know how in baseball they can check how hard the ball is or the velocity, or they
Okay.
need that in culture or something. They need some
Yeah.
kind of machine to
On the
check.
Meter.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Malinovsky stings it wide.
It's a foot. What a foot on this guy. I think he's 24 now.
Yeah,
Let
he's
me
young
double check.
guy.
Like I was saying before, it really is time. In Papu Gomez's absence, there's got to be that.
He's 28.
28.
He's 28 already?
Malinovsky.
Really?
Wow. He was a little bit older than I thought. I was
my
thinking
gosh.
25.
What's his
26.
secret? Jesus.
Maybe I'm thinking of Pasalic, who's a little younger.
Maybe.
Pasalic, I think,
yeah,
is maybe
Pasalic
21 or
is, yeah,
22.
Pasalic is
he's
younger.
really young now that I remember.
Let me
For some reason, I
check.
thought Malinovsky was a few years younger.
I thought so too, honestly. I'm kind of shocked by that too.
Maybe
Wow.
because he's always been playing second fiddle to Ilicic.
He's
and
26
Papu.
actually, Pasalic.
Wow.
He's
These guys are growing-
26.
These guys are growing quick.
They're growing up quick.
Wow.
They grow up so fast.
I remember when Pasalic was on Milan when he helped us win the Supercoppa that year. I remember that was a little while ago, but wow, 26. All right. Grande.
I think that's even more to the point. As Ilicic gets older, Gomez is gone. What does Atalanta do long term for their attack? And I think this is where things go wrong. And now at 0-2, it's very easy to start playing the blame game. However, I think Percassi made a huge mistake by backing his manager over Papu.
Wait, this is a big one. Why?
That's a
Papu Gomez is aging. Gasperini might be
I
old,
understand.
but he's a coach.
He's a coach.
And Gasperini brought them all the glory that they ever had in their history. So back that up. That's a big statement.
That's
Wayne.
a pretty.
I
thought
hope
was
you have
making a
enough
big
to back it
statement
up
before.
right now.
Oof.
I think Gasperini's team,
Okay.
regardless of him, let's say he leaves and Percassi pulls the plug on him, you go and get Spalletti, and you make sure you do before you back your coach or you back Papu, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes. Atalanta still have an extremely talented team. There is the continuity of everybody still together. They get a really good manager to take his place. And I don't think they lose a step. Right now, I see a team who's lost a step.
How they lose a step? They qualify for Champions League without Papu. Right
Now,
now, it's
though.
only a few games in, but they still seem very good. Even though they're two, I don't want to say anything. They're 2 goals down, but
They're in it.
They're still fighting against Milan toe to toe.
They've got that athleticism about them, and they're fighting. However, they've lost a spark, and they've lost a game changer. And that is one of the rarest and most difficult things to find in football, is a guy who can change a game on a whim. I wouldn't, looking back on it, I don't believe it. A lot of people in Italy have problems with Gasperini. He's not well-liked around the peninsula. People know of this about him. He's not always very nice to his players. He doesn't, I don't want to say respect them, but he's not.
He's tougher. He's a little tougher.
He's not a player's favorite coach. Does that matter entirely? No, it doesn't always. However, with what happened and the nature of his incident, I would have definitely backed my player over him.
So now, Papu Gomez, 2, maybe 3 good years left. And Gasperini, you have him as long as till he retires, basically, if he keeps this up. That's a big statement. To be honest, I think they made the correct decision in backing Gasperini. They still made Champions League, which a lot of people question if they'd make it without Papu Gomez.
Right.
They're competing in the Champions League, and they're still competing for top 4.
I think that was half a season, where they played without Papu, and that was
and
okay.
they still managed. They could have even finished second place, but they lost to Milan.
But now
from one
Ilicic is
game.
older, and Ilicic
is
ain't even
older.
starting anymore. So
But
now
do
you've
they
lost
even
2
need him,
game
though?
changers. I think so.
Yeah.
But
Because they're at home, and they're getting...
They're getting beat 2-0.
Well, we're judging it off one game, though? Because if we judge
no.
off one game, we could do that for every team.
No, but I think overall in the season, I've noticed this. In the past 7 games, I've seen this.
Against Inter. What do you have to say about
2
that?
goals, but I think a lot of it comes from the high press. I don't think it was due to some sublime skill.
That's interesting.
Ilicic on the ball.
You still have Zapata. Can't take that away from him. Zapata's a great player.
They
just
almost lost
think
too, though.
that. And then there's also the issue of what if this happens again?
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, boy.
Got some space.
Ooh, Atalanta covered well.
Does Gasperini play great football? Yeah, but there's other managers who do that as well.
But could you get him for his price and for the players that he's asking for that's not going to break the bank? Is another question.
I think that Atalanta has built up enough now where they can buy a little bit more than they have previously. And with a good sporting director and they have a good operation going on there, that they would be able to figure it out and keep up this great scouting network that they have for years now.
But who could they bring in that can emulate this? Because to be honest, a top coach,
There's
who's
not
going to
a lot
want to
of
go
them
to
on the mar-
Bergamo?
there's not
at
a
that
lot of
end?
them on the
But
market
who's
right
going to
now.
want to go to Bergamo? With all due respect with Bergamo.
De Zerbi, before he went to Shakhtar.
The Zerbi could have been a good one. Okay,
Italiano.
I'll give you that.
Spalletti.
Italiano's a question mark.
There's
I would
also,
give
there's
De
also
Zerbi.
one coach that's on the market right now that nobody's talking about, and that's Gattuso.
you
I
can't-
wouldn't have
You don't
done
think it
that.
would fit?
No.
I mean, from going from
No, I
Gasperini
wouldn't
to
have done that.
Gattuso, dude, you can't do that. I think maybe De Zerbi, and that's still a question mark to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Sassuolo, to me, I always thought Sassuolo played like Atalanta, but not as good as Atalanta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be the players or whether it be the coach, I think Gasperini is that top model in terms of not spending a lot, getting the most out of your players, and not, and managing to build that unit of a team that's a force to reckon with even in Europe.
Mm.
So that's a big statement. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's harder to replace Gasperini than Papu Gomez personally.
I
tend to agree with Mike because, again, you have to think about it like this. It's a matter of a playmaker that makes a difference. And not to say that there's a lot of players that are out there like Papu, but there's ways to be able to move around that kind of system. But replacing an entire coach that's giving you everything in the recent years, giving you a chance for Champions League, giving you the chance to challenge for the
I
title.
think that's giving him too much credit.
You think so?
Yeah, because he had great players. I think Hatzabota
Oh!
Look, they're getting crushed. They're getting crushed.
Look at this.
This Milan is head and toes. Head and
Musso
toes?
with the huge
Head and toe?
Head and toes. Is that the saying?
Is it head over?
Head and toes. Better.
We'll stick with head and toes. Maybe we'll turn it into something. Head and toes over
Atalanta.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I just
They're
can't
getting
think
their
of
butts kicked.
Wow, they almost made it 3-0, but Musso saved the day, keeping it at
what a
2.
save that was.
At home, in the rain. I've always known Atalanta to be a gritty team. That's, they can play the way that the people are, tough and not afraid to get their hands dirty.
Look at this.
I don't see that right now.
Oof.
Brahim, get up. Get up.
See, that's something that he's been doing a lot lately, and I'm not really happy about that. He's got to...
He looks like a spoiled kid who didn't get his toys.
Seriously.
That face on.
Everyone's saying head and shoulders you're thinking of.
Head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders.
Listen, you never know who's listening. Maybe we might get... We all got pretty good heads of hair in here. We need some head and shoulders. That's good, yeah.
God.
Head and shoulders.
That's funny. Head over heels? Is that... No.
That sounds...
That's a different... I think that's a different one, though.
Head
That's
over
like
heels
you
is
see
more
someone
going back
you-
to the love thing that we were talking about before. I
Maybe.
don't know.
Yeah.
Head over heels.
There's something with... Yeah, there's something about... I know what you're thinking of, Wayne. I just can't think of it. I'm sure someone will say in the comments. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Thomas. I think Thomas cleared the air. Oh, is that a foul? Thomas
You gotta
said...
be careful there.
It's actually head and shoulders above the rest.
Head and shoulders.
That's what it is.
Okay,
Above.
yeah.
So
Above
you're
the
not,
rest. Yeah.
Atalanta.
Thomas, thank you for clearing that up for
Thank
us.
you
We're in
very
a
much.
pickle over here.
I just think, looking back, let's say, best case scenario, you get Spalletti, you keep Papu Gomez. I think the team's better off. I think they're a better team than what I'm seeing right now.
Damn, Wayne, I didn't expect
Yeah.
this fire from you.
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
I have very strong feelings about Papu.
But
That's why, 'cause he was my
it from
favorite player.
emotional? But you're saying it from emotional. Now think of it as a
Not
football.
an objective.
point of-
I can't separate the two.
He's
I
got the
just
connection to Papu.
can't. Don't make me.
I know, I understand. I think it's the logical choice. However, think of the nature of Gasperini, and I would have moved on at that point in time. If I could have gotten Spalletti.
But you'd be kicking yourself. Other than if Atalanta didn't make Champions League and they weren't the team that they were, you're going to be like, damn, now we have an old guy that we're only have for a couple more seasons. And we
True.
lost our best coach in their history.
But they're not going to make it now.
Why not?
Yeah, but you have to also remember.
They
you
They're
don't think
going-
they're going to make it?
They're not going back
Sebastian,
to the
you don't think
Champions
they have
League.
a good chance? It'll be tough.
No, I mean, what, in terms of winning the Scudetto?
No.
we're talking about?
No, back
Champions
in
League,
the
top
CL.
4.
Champions League, I
They
think they have a
have
great
realistic
chance.
spots.
They have a great
They're not
chance, I
going
think.
back.
I mean,
I think
considering the performances and the teams that they're up against, I mean, Young Boys gave Manchester United a hard time, which is crazy to think. And maybe some people could say, okay, that was a fluke. They got the win there. That was very important.
Atalanta are the 6th best team in the league. I see Napoli, Juventus, Inter, Milan, and Roma as better teams than them.
And Lazio?
Nah, Lazio got their butt kicked today.
Yeah, they got
Bologna.
their butts handed them 3-0 over there. I don't know what Sarismo
Yeah,
is.
I know
over
there was a red
Sarismo is
card.
not looking
Man.
too
They
pretty.
They came
right
out
now.
for the derby when they knew Pellegrini wasn't playing, but
Yeah.
now they're going
Dude,
back.
another thing with
What
I've
was
always
that?
I've always liked Lazio's defense. I thought
Really?
Sarri Lazio, not Lazio's defense. Lazio's midfield. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know
Yeah,
what's
no,
really.
yeah. I don't
Lazio's
know. I do like
mid-series.
Acerbi. I think Acerbi's a fighter, but regardless, their
Oh,
midfield. A lot of people. I don't want to say overrate or overhype it, but how many times do they actually show up? Are they considered a world-class midfield if you only show up once every 5 or 6 games?
Like FIFA,
Because
they
today's
are.
a perfect
Right,
example. They
like
got
FIFA,
smashed.
they are exactly.
Nah, if you want to be considered world class, you could be great. They're great
Yeah,
players.
they're great.
in the midfield.
They're amazing.
World class,
players.
another thing. You got to show up every day. That's a mentality.
But how
thing.
often
They're
do they
not
actually
there.
click? Not even world class, even great players. How often do they actually click and be like, "Wow, these guys are on"?
When
not,
they want
not much.
to.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
not
they're-
much.
that's
and a
what
lot
sets-
of people overpraise them. I was like, but how many times does that happen? That happened for the derby, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
But when's the next game when that's gonna actually happen? Do they need that motivation for that to happen? Because you shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't, but it looks like they do.
I don't know. Sarri's a really good coach. Maybe, perhaps even a great coach.
I think he's the best coach to manage that midfield also.
Yeah,
And it seems
and it's
like
still the same
it's
issue.
a patchy performances in that midfield for them.
Yeah.
I understand they played midweek, but so did Juventus.
Everyone
so did
does.
Napoli.
You're right.
Everyone.
Yeah.
That's not an
Look
excuse.
what Milan lost the game that they literally had from the beginning, and then unfortunately, from one thing after another,
Yeah.
they suffered such a huge loss at home where they potentially could have taken serious points. But look what they're doing right now. They bounced back.
And Assad even said, he said, we're the only team in Europe that played 61 hours after a Europa League match.
Now he's looking for excuses.
He said, and he said,
don't play that card.
And he said this is an excuse, but he said that's what it is.
Nobody,
it kind of is
nobody's
an
going to be
excuse at the
crying
end of
for
the
him,
day.
please.
Lazio hasn't competed for European matches in years.
Yeah.
Every time they've approached the Europa League, they've put out like a B team. They've gone out there and they've played 80% max. So please, now all of a sudden you want to start getting this alibi? No, come on. Lazio never show up for Europe.
No, and they never show up when it counts. It's you can
For
say,
the derby, sometimes they do.
For the-
It depends, dude. They're spotty with their performances. They're inconsistent.
But now answer this question.
Like last season and the season before, Lazio have been, and I put them in top 4 multiple times, and I ended up kicking myself, and I was like, I thought this midfield would show up, but they didn't. I think Luis Alberto had like 1 or 2 assists all last season, and I was like, that can't happen.
But he's so talented.
That's
He's
what I'm
amazing.
saying. I was like, you can't let that. You can't. That's impossible.
Guy's
If you want to
good.
compete for top 4, you cannot show up only 1/3 of your games. You just can't do that. And you can't be classified as a Champions League team if that happens.
I don't see
It's
Savic
not just
staying.
them, but I'm just saying because a lot of people say, "Oh, their midfield's this, their midfield's that good." But you can't. You have to show up in more games.
You're not playing
I'm
with
sorry,
only
but
a
that's what
midfield
it
at the end of the
is.
day. That's what it is. And
even Immobile too. Sometimes he scores, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
Against the
You
big
know,
teams, he vanishes.
we try to advocate. I mean, I've tried to advocate for him in the past, but it's
I
just
advocate. I was the biggest advocate for Lazio the past few seasons, but I feel like they proved me wrong, and I got angry because of that.
Yeah.
Because I just see them play. I was like, this is not how they played again in the derby. Why are they playing so bad? They're invisible.
But
That,
now
was,
let
that
me
was a
ask-
good switch to Muriel.
But that, I mean,
But now let me ask you a question. Going back to the derby from what we're talking about, because you're saying that they showed up for the derby. Do you feel like it's that they showed up for the derby? Or do you think that there was Roma lacking Pellegrini over there to be able to kind of introduce that? Because he's been probably one of the best, if not the best player that they've
He
had so far
was.
at the start of the season.
it's fun that you said because me and Wayne were actually talking about this before, and we actually talked about it on the stream. We
Yeah.
said Pellegrini was their best player at the season. He was scoring. He was assistant.
Yeah.
He's their captain. If he was there, I think it would have been a different result. But I got to give credit to Lazio. Lazio did show up from the
Lazio
first minute.
showed up.
They
They
were
did.
foaming from the mouth. They were attacking Roma. They
Yeah.
didn't let them breathe. So they played great. So I'm sure Pellegrini would have made an impact. I'm not sure if Roma would have won, but I do think it could have been a draw. It could have very well been a draw because
I think
that's
Roma-
where Roma
Yeah.
were missing that link
Yeah.
up from attack to that
I think
midfield.
that match deserved to be a draw.
Yeah, I agree with
No,
that.
for sure. And I think that was a penalty on Zaniolo,
yeah,
and they
clear
scored from
penalty.
the play right after.
It's
If that
crazy.
was
That one was
called,
crazy.
That
It's madness.
alone.
How? And then
Would've been the
they
tie.
try to provide a makeup call. I don't know what that
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
That was a mess.
They gotta get better. They gotta
And
they gotta
will.
use VAR more than them just listening on the ear. They gotta just run to the camera
Bum-
and take an extra 2-3 minutes, whatever, and figure it out.
Bum-
I'd wait an extra 3 minutes if they get the correct call.
But my thing is, though, if you have the option to be able to look at it from every different angle on
Dude,
the field,
the ego.
why don't you take the option?
Their ego, because they think, oh, I see, I don't need the camera, I saw
Yeah.
it. Dude, go check, man. You got the technology. This is not 20 years ago. Don't base off what you saw from one angle.
Salamanca
You got
just got slapped in the
technology.
face.
Go check it out.
You got clapped in the ear right there. Look at that.
Yeah, that hurts.
That does hurt. Yeah.
Damn. Here ringing for the next.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I actually had a family member of mine in Cosenza in Italy who was a
Nice.
linesman in Serie A for a few years ago. This is like back in the early 2000s, and
Awesome.
I remember he had told me, he goes, it's such a difficult. He couldn't deal with the job and the stress after
I bet
such a long
that's
time.
insanely hard.
He literally. I remember when I was as a kid growing up, when we would go over there. I remember when I was very, very young, he had a full head of dark hair. I remember years later, it just became all white.
Jeez.
Because of all the stress that
That's
you put in,
crazy.
because you're in such a high stress position.
Yeah.
And he used to always say,
Everyone
"Oh,
yelling
I
at
wish
you."
that there was an extra way to be able to look at different angles and different pictures or video or something to be able to kind of help this job be a little less stressful." Because
Yeah.
one false move, one false call
yeah.
changes the game completely.
No, you're right. 100%. 100%. He
And
probably.
now-
No, go.
No, I'm sorry. And now that they have the technology, it's just crazy again that they still let them
That's what
tickle
I'm
their
saying.
ego to be able to kind of be able to get to
Like
that
before,
point.
you could say, it was tough. They don't, they couldn't see. It was regular speed.
There's no
But now
excuse.
there's literally no excuse. At least at least look at it and still get the wrong call. So I know it was like, okay, this guy messed up.
Right.
Yeah.
But at least he saw it, and then he still kept with his decision.
Yeah.
Just look at it, man. Just
least-
look at it.
Because there's always a chance of error. Because again, we're all
100%,
human.
100%.
So at
But
the end-
minimize it.
right?
We have
Absolutely.
the technology to minimize, so why not do it?
Come on. What is that?
Because that can mean Champions League or not.
Yeah.
That can mean
absolutely.
Europe or not. That can mean
Ooh, where's
Scudetto
that
or
ball
not.
going?
He got knocked off balance. He went
Better
to switch the field of
Yeah,
play.
he tried to switch.
70 minutes in and Milan are still holding on.
Look at
Whoa,
that.
here
Over.
handling
Here,
Zapata.
He's a Viking. Look at him. He's a Viking. He doesn't let anybody go anywhere. They said there was an interesting statistic. I think it wasn't Kier, it was Tomori. There
Yeah.
was the statistic. I don't know if it was you guys that released it or if I saw it somewhere else.
Oy.
That he had 0 balls dribbled past him this entire season so far.
Was that last season?
No,
Or
it was this year
season?
so far.
Okay. I think there was a stat about him. I don't know if it was him. I don't think it was. I don't think it was us. I don't think we posted that.
I remember there was something about this year. I remember last year there was that similar statistic, but I don't know if that ended today because of nice stop. I don't know if that ended because of Male before, who was getting around him, and Zappacosta, but he hasn't. He's been unstoppable. Nobody's able to get past him.
He's such a physical presence, dude.
Both
he
of
literally
them.
is a present-day Viking.
Yeah,
For real.
literally. He
even-
looks it
even
too.
for-
Look at him. He's got the
yeah.
blonde flowing locks.
All he's
got
missing is the helmet.
He's got the helmet, right?
With the horns, right?
He needs
I
to
mean,
get-
he's
he
the
need-
captain for Denmark too. We see what the leadership characteristics he
Yeah,
has.
what he was able to do in the Euros and that leadership he
yeah.
was able to
With
provide was
Ericsson, yeah.
that was actually an interesting topic that I saw that was being discussed. What was that? There we go.
Atalanta really going for broke here. Muriel in, Ilicic, Zapata.
Yeah,
They've
they-
got
they-
numbers, Malinovskyi.
I mean, there's still plenty of time if they get a goal very soon.
Yeah.
But they got Milan are playing very good, organized defense, not giving them a lot of space.
We're starting to give them a little bit here and there. They're starting to get more close to the outer edge of the box there. We need 70 minutes.
I mean, giving only Atalanta a little bit and keeping them on 0, I think is pretty good if you ask me.
Still, but look at like what they did to Inter. They almost came back and won the whole thing. And because
That's
Inter
true.
fell asleep, we don't want that same mistake to happen.
No, yeah,
We got to
you're
be
right.
better than Inter because we are better than Inter, right, Mike?
We got to see at the end of the season.
That's
gotta
gonna
see
be
at
a
the- I
great-
mean, right now they're the defending champs, so Milan got to prove themselves
Mike,
right now.
let me ask you a
That's
question.
an even
Yeah.
match.
If I had to ask you which of the two teams in Milan are better right now, which one would you choose?
Better right now?
Right now.
Ooh.
And I think you know what my answer is already. So
They're so even.
They're. I'm trying to think. I feel like Inter are hitting a little bit of a rough patch
okay,
in terms of. I
look
know
at that. Look at that.
Oh, you got to hit that.
I feel like Dzeko had to come in and save the day,
Right.
and they were running out of ideas and in creativity and with Correa
Look at
and
that again
Lautaro.
From Tonali, look at that.
I don't know. I'm trying. I think Milan are more solid all around, but my question mark is longevity. I
Okay.
think Inter are better in the long term rather than Milan, but I feel like Milan in a one match, maybe they can get the job done. But Milan surprised me last season. I didn't think they beat Atalanta, and I think they got only better in terms of the players they got. Pioli knows this team much better, and they know that I think they're going to be fighting for the Scudetto till the end of the season. I still got to give the edge to Inter, though, to be honest, just because they're defending champions. They've won it already.
Okay.
And we've seen it before. Milan, there's still some question marks in terms of could they compete to the last few match days for the Scudetto. Last season, they kind of dropped off after the winter. And I want to see how much longer, if they can hold on to Inter and the rest of the teams. Right now they're doing great,
Right,
but
right,
it's early, dude.
But
it's not even double digits in the rounds.
No,
you know?
and that's 100% true. But at the end of the day, you want to see a team that, like you said, they're right now. I think they're almost neck and neck. But obviously, I'm going to give the edge to the obvious choice. But in my opinion, but overall, again, right now, I think that we have this depth. And again, this is a team that also isn't playing without two of its probably biggest champions that it has. You're not playing without Zlatan
No, you're
Ibrahimovic.
right.
You're not playing with Giroud. This
Yeah.
is just simply a team that's
right.
able to take from whatever they have and the depth that they've achieved and that they've been able to get. And that was what was missing last
mean,
year, essentially.
Rebic is a makeshift striker right now.
Exactly.
He was playing out wide, and right
Right.
now he's playing as striker, and he's doing excellent.
He's playing out of position, but look what he's able to do.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you 100%. But the question is, how long could he keep doing that for? Because at the end of the day, I don't think Zlatan, when he comes back, I don't think he's going to be healthy for the rest of the season. He's probably going to get a couple more setbacks, right?
Okay.
Giroud, he's probably going to stay more healthy at the end of the day, so he should be there. And they're juggling Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
And if they, or Europa League, if they don't manage to get out of their group, and do they have the depth like Inter do to bring on these players? I don't know. And as we were saying before, the African Cup of Nations,
Right.
they got 2 big players, potential starters, that they're going to miss for a whole month. Would they be drop points there that would startle them for the rest of the season? I don't know. But as I said, right now, they're pretty neck and neck. They're pretty neck and neck. Just like a few other teams, just like Napoli. Napoli's up there. Juventus are out of the equation right now, but I feel like Juve are going to make a late run and end up in the top 4 finish. I think a lot of people don't even have them top 4. What do you guys think? Do you think Juve have a secure top 4, or you think it's too many points and they're not gonna do it?
I think they're getting back in.
I think so too.
Both of you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost crazy to say that a team that for the past 10 years has dominated the league, and just because of the fact that they started a little slow, I don't think that necessarily is going to be anything that's going to hurt them in the long run. I think they're going to be able to come back and get all those wins, because now they're final. And you have to also remember, it was just on the deadline day practically when they lost probably one of the most influential players that they've had. So, and that is demoralizing to a team. And now some people say that maybe Juventus may be better without Ronaldo. I tend to disagree with some of those people because of the fact that that's a guy that's providing you with 20-plus goals a season, 25-plus goals a season. But I think at the end of the day that Juve is going to still definitely come back in the top 4, because they still have a lot of other young talent and they have a lot of great players that are over there too that are still waking up and kind of getting acclimated to this new team with this new coach that they haven't had in their system for a few years.
Yeah, they've got a good spine. Look back at Delight, or even Locatelli now. They've got Kulusevski, Chiesa, Dybala, threats from all over.
Right.
A little bit of structure, on the outside. They've been solid for quite a while now. Maybe not the most impressive as, this team gets older.
Ouch.
But another important...
foul?
Damn, that hurt me, bro, watching that.
In other important parts of the field, though, they're very exciting. They're explosive. And some of the best players in each position in the league. So I think they're going to be there. I see them getting 3rd or 4th.
3rd? Okay.
Yeah, 3rd. I said 4th. I had 4th.
I would agree with 4th. I would think that's where they probably will end up. If they're lucky.
Interesting. Where do you have, Sebastian, where do you have Roma?
Honestly, I remember I was actually going over with my father, because technically every year we kind of tend to do our own little prediction.
Nice.
I actually, believe it or not, I had Roma in 3rd, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
And my father had Roma in 2nd.
Wow.
So, and
Mourinho, baby.
Mourinho. Not even just Mourinho. Look at the acquisitions that you have. Roma getting Zaniolo back is like getting a brand new signing. Tammy Abraham is unbelievable. You're going to be able to present that young attacking option in the front. And plus, not to mention, you have
Spinazzola coming back.
Exactly, Spinazzola. You have Calafiori, who's now stepping up to be able to kind of provide that backup where you need there.
Veretout, Cristante, great in that midfield.
Anywhere on that field.
Darboa started today, too. So we got
Great
some
youth coming
new
through.
blood. I think we're 2 players away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's positions?
I think we need some cover at right back. We need healthy
That's fair.
center back.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Karsdorp, to be honest.
You're not a fan?
I'm not a fan of Karsdorp compared to the rest of the squad.
I think Karsdorp is great. He provides. He
doesn't offensively. He doesn't bring enough. Maybe I'm
Right.
spoiled because of Spinazzola.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if there was, again, I forget if Mourinho said if he had 11 players. I know that was Pellegrini, but I guarantee you the next 11 that if you wish he could have, that would probably be 11 Spinazzolas. But
Milan on the
look
counter.
at that. Teo. Offside.
Offside, but they
offside.
score.
Did he give it?
I think so.
He's
yeah.
onside?
Yeah, because
Oh my
Rafaelino Leao!
Rafa gets it. I thought they chalked it offside.
He let it
but
go.
Everybody had their hands up. They were all saying it was offside, but there's no offside here, baby. The team in Lombardia is Milan today, baby.
3.
Grande Rafael Leao.
I am so shocked.
And Theo with that beautiful run. We got not only one fullback who can attack, we got 2. Look at that. Let's go.
That's a hit.
That was a beauty.
Fallo vedere la bella maglia. Look at that beautiful shirt. Look at that. Look at Messias.
Messias, though. Look at Messias started that run.
Look at that heel. Look at Theo go.
Leao with
baby,
a
go.
great back heel, and Matteo feeds him again.
Look at that. Messias letting it go. Wow. So if Messias would have made contact under the ball, that would have been offside.
Yeah, or if he went for it.
If he went
Jim
for
City was inches away from stopping that goal happening.
Wow.
I don't know if I said my prediction 2-2, Lea with a heart celebration. I gave my prediction 2-2. I don't
We love
know.
you, Rafa. We love you.
I don't know if I gave too much credit to Atalanta or if I didn't give enough credit to Milan.
Mike, you're disappointing me, Mike.
I
What
think
happened to
I
Mike, the
didn't-
Milan fan that I
didn't
used
give
to
enough
know?
credit.
What do you think, Wayne?
I don't think I gave enough credit to Milan.
I don't think so either.
Guys,
They're playing
Dude,
some really
they
good
didn't
football.
give Atalanta a real sniff on goal, to be honest, man.
and let's
No.
go.
They had a few in the first half. I
They
got
had
it,
a few.
but
They had a
Magnan
few.
covered it well.
They still got 10 minutes. Trust me, nothing is over. I think that they still have a
3
chance
goals,
to possibly
bro.
score. They have a chance to score a goal, but I don't, obviously
Oh,
from
okay,
3
score.
from 3
I
nothing
mean,
back.
3-0, 3-1 is...
From 3-0 down, it's very, very bleak. And Mike, I want to remind you what you said for right now. Let's also remember, Inter only managed to get a tie.
That's true.
We're in Bergamo and we're
That's
winning
true.
3-0.
That's a good point. But no. I was gonna
But-
say European.
but-
I was gonna say European
but-
games, but both teams played
but-
European.
Mike, I think we know who the best team in Milano is. By the way, we never got Wayne.
You're
We
going
never
too
got.
soon.
We never got Wayne's perspective before. I wanted to hear what Wayne had to say. Yeah.
I see they're very close.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams. Inter's played some good football. I'm watching Milan play exceptional ball right now. And Mike pointed out a little while ago that Inter was in a bit of a rough patch. And I think that's true. I agree with that. And I would love to see in the Derby della Madonnina what these two teams look like against one another, because I do think that Inter, regardless of losing Lukaku and Hakimi, I think that the people that they brought in have done a good job of making it spread out. You see it's the equity is being spread out pretty evenly in this Inter Milan. So they can hit you from a few different areas. I also think Di Marco is a very good player. Dumfries has been doing really well for them. Barella is arguably one of the best players in the league. So I see an Inter that still has, an insane amount of threats. If they won the Scudetto, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be a little bit surprised seeing Dzeko at his age, lead that line. But the point is that he's not leading it, and it's spread out between him, Correa, and Lautaro. Yeah, Martinez. So there's this spread of different ways that Inter can hit you. Whereas I look at Milan, and they're explosive.
I'm so
And they're hitting on the wings, and it all seems to be clicking for them. However, I wouldn't rule out this Inter, and I can't tell the difference between them. A little bit of different styles, but two teams
definitely
playing
different styles.
really good football.
Huh. Wow, Milan really impressed me today.
They keep impressing, Mike.
Because I don't think it's not Atalanta showing up this time. I think it's Milan shutting Atalanta down. Because they had a lot of chances. Magnan, Tomori, they couldn't go through Tomori. They couldn't go through Kier.
Look at
they
that
couldn't go through
defense.
Magnan. Oh, they want a penalty handball?
Nah, come on, get out of here.
Here's what's bad for Gasperini about this game. Other teams,
They would have won with Papu
Ooh.
Gomez.
they would
We're going back to the Papu
they
argument.
is other teams are gonna study this.
That's true.
Yeah.
So for years it's been, how do we get around this high press from Gasperini and this new inventive football? This is case in point of how you completely obliterate his tactics.
Take them apart
But
piece by
this
piece.
is extremely difficult what Milan have done this game.
It is.
Extremely difficult.
It's a brilliant match.
You
by
need a
Milan.
great defense. You need a great midfield that stops everything.
Yeah.
Give them no room to breathe.
And we do
It's
it
very
all.
difficult.
Yeah, look, guys, you need to do it all today.
Look at that.
Oh, wait, hit off his
Ah,
foot
came off
first.
his- came off
Yeah,
his foot.
if it comes off a limb and hits a hand, I don't think they
that's
give
no
it
penalty.
anymore.
Get out of here. Come on. We know better than that. Let's not have a repeat from Wednesday. Come on. Go take a look. It's okay.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
nothing.
It did look like it hit off his foot, then two hands. So
Yeah.
I thought Ilicic was going to join Milan this year.
that was another rumor.
There was a big chance with that. I remember. And I don't know how they sang Kumbaya and they made amends over there in Bergamo. But do you think he would have been better off if he would have went to Milan, or do you think it's better that he stayed in Atalanta? What do you guys think?
I don't think Atalanta are gaining anything by keeping him around at this point. I
But
think it's
how Ilicic definitely took a few steps back.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's the same Ilicic that he was the previous
He's
season.
going to take a
or
look?
not.
He's not.
Usually when they tell him to take a look, they usually say it could be something. So let's see. Let's see if they'll give it. Also Romero leaving.
That's a huge loss there too. We
Rancone
forgot to
brought
mention
up
before.
Romero leaving is definitely a big loss.
You
Demiral
can't
is
see
good,
anything from
but-
that angle. Come on,
Yeah,
let's
it's
see.
a tough angle.
Palomino
That's
kind of
tough.
gets in the way.
They don't have a bet. Oh, here we
Hold
go.
on, let's see.
There we go.
But look, it hits off
Hands
the
Yeah,
down.
but
leg.
how on earth are you?
But it hits off the leg first.
It's off the leg of Tomori.
Yeah, I don't think I'd give that one.
That's
He
not a
might get, it
penalty.
seems like he's gonna give it though.
He's giving
Yeah,
it.
he
What?
gave it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
of-
That
Here
was
we
a-
go.
I don't think that should
Now you
be,
gotta
though.
stick the knife in between the ribs and twist a little bit,
It's
right?
it's the positioning of his hand.
Oh, get out of here.
But I understand if it hit his hand straight. But
Yeah,
it's
I
at the-
know.
You know how much can you
That's-
do?
Yeah.
How can
What
you
can the
react
guy
in that
do?
in that
You can't.
millisecond?
What can the guy do?
Well, you can't really.
You can't really dive
Yeah.
as a human being with like your
No,
hand.
it's,
No.
it's not natural.
But
No.
but this whole thing with the handball rule, it's almost like as if I can walk into the box, scoop the ball up, and hit it off
It
of
hits
somebody's
someone.
hand,
It sucks.
and it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's obscene. It's ridiculous.
Guys, will Magic Mike keep
Come
a
on, Mike.
clean sheet?
Come on, Mike.
Wayne, what are you thinking? Or is Big Zapata, Big Duvan Gonna
Zapata knows he's got nothing
gonna
to
shatter
lose.
their clean sheet? That's true. Yeah, he doesn't have any pressure.
He's not
to be
feeling the
fair.
pressure.
That makes sense.
He's just like
That makes sense.
he's frustrated.
He's very
He's
frustrated.
gonna probably
However,
hit the
he-
net,
come on,
right?
He's
Shank
gotta be
this.
tired.
Shank
this man's
it.
taking he's run his butt off all day.
That's
Yeah, look
true.
at him.
But he got a few minutes of rest from that.
Come
waiting
on.
for the decision.
Come on, Mike.
85th minute.
Come on, Mike.
Duvan has a chance to make it 3-1, ruining Milan's clean sheet.
Magic Mike. Let's see it.
Will the Colombian do it? Goal.
Ah.
It looked like down the middle.
That's a
High
bullet.
down the middle. And Manyan's not giving it immediately.
Absolutely not. Because they didn't deserve that penalty.
Sebastian's still bitter from that.
I am bitter because it's
Ooh.
it's
No, I agree. I wouldn't give that. I wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have-
given that.
I would not have
That's
given
very
that.
harsh.
that's a consolation there that they felt like they needed, and now okay, great, you scored one, fine.
Sebastian, what would you do if they score 2 goals now?
They scored 2 goals.
What
then
would- honestly,
we
what
know
would you do?
then we know
What
another
would you
referee
do?
that's going to be suspended. Because it's not just one, it's going to be all of them. Because again, this is going to be the season, and now everybody's going to be saying that. Last year they said, "Oh yeah, Milan was in favor of the referees." Now the referees have to make it look good, and they got to give all the calls the other way.
Dude, how crazy would that be?
I'm not surprised. Look,
If they
anything
did-
can happen.
If they did, I'd have to name my first son Gasperini as a first name
Yeah.
after all the
Guys,
nonsense I've been
speaking
saying.
of penalties, I have a interesting topic I want to bring about. I brought up last season, and I kind of got I wasn't a fan favorite, but I want to ask you guys. Maybe it'll be something interesting. Not saying I agree with it or not, but definitely an interesting topic in terms of a possible penalty change. In the sense that, say, we'll say Salazmaker dribbles in the box, gets fouled,
Mm-hmm.
and he has to take it rather than Kessie. Rather than the designated penalty taker, if you win the penalty, you take the penalty.
I'm in support of that.
I'm in support of that as well.
Oh, I brought this up. Peter and Ryan said, no, it's bad. I was like, I don't think it's that bad.
No,
It
not
may,
at all.
I mean, penalties at the end of the day, it's most likely going to go in. Now you're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Well,
Because penalties, at that, what is it, like 70% chance you're probably going to score?
okay.
So now make it a little bit more tougher on the person, on the team, so it's not that much of an advantage.
Look,
You get what I'm trying to say?
as a player, at least from my point of view, there's nothing that gets to me more is when you get to the penalty, you draw it,
Yeah.
and you pick it up, and then the coach says, no.
Yeah, gives it to someone else.
Johnny,
right?
take it. That's the worst.
That's
No-
that's
nothing
demoralizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't trust me? You don't think I
Yeah,
could do this?
yeah.
I know that some players don't like taking penalties, though.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot don't
Well-
actually like to take them.
How interesting would this be, though?
I think it should be like that because so the penalty is against, let's say it's for you and your shot. Now
Exactly.
you're giving your shot
at
to
Ben
somebody
Asser getting the
else.
ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So-
Why give it to him? It was like, bro, you want to take it.
Yeah.
I want it. I really want it. I think it'll be much more exciting. There'll be much more penalty misses, obviously, because your best
No, it should
taker's
be.
not going to take it. I think it's just going to create more buzz.
Well,
and I don't think it's that crazy of a rule change.
I don't think it's
Nah,
that crazy.
Yeah,
of a
I don't
rule
think
change
it's.
either.
I don't think it's insane. Or like, oh, like how they introduced VAR. People are saying, no, don't
I
change
would
the
say
game.
five subs is more controversial than that.
Yeah.
Even so. Well said. Well said.
But in regard to other players taking the penalty, I think that introduces a greater challenge in the game because you think about it, these goalkeepers are studying this before they play any side, so this way they know in terms of preference. So if the side should lose and should concede a penalty, they would be able to then have a better idea in terms of which kicker is going to be taking it. Now changes that completely.
See,
because
that's another aspect I didn't even think about.
That's
What's
another.
that?
That's another element that adds there. So now the goalkeepers are literally going to be in this, and not to say that it's going to make a huge difference, but it'll make a change because of the fact you're changing tactically how you're preparing for a match. And in a way, this is going to sound probably a little controversial, but in a way, and to kind of equate to an analogy, one person told me once that professional soccer players should be able to take a penalty and score a penalty like nothing, just like people in the NBA are able to shoot free throws.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a basic element of a game that each player should be able to convert.
I
But
feel like
again,
it's too automatic if they give it to their best penalty kick taker.
right. I tend to agree with that.
Just-
Yeah.
you
It's something to
specialize
think
in
about.
that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Make it more fun. Make it more difficult. Change
Yeah.
it up.
And then also what happens is then you see what happens to, say, for example, like a Zlatan Ibrahimovic last year, who at one point was converting penalties in the beginning of the year and then started having a few occasions where he started to miss. And then that takes away from your confidence as a player. And once you lose that confidence, you're not going to be able to perform the same way. You get that position taken away from you and given to somebody else. You kind of lose that little bit of extra bit that you had, that confidence that you say, oh, I can do this. I can walk out there and do that. Now you're taking that pressure away because that's not going to be always placed on that one player's shoulders.
100%. And like you said, in basketball happens. Also in hockey happens like that.
Exactly.
So it's not like wouldn't be the craziest thing. It happens in sports. So
Right.
maybe it could be implemented in
I
college.
want to point out the really nice bit of play there by Coop Miners. He did really well to get away from 2 Milan players, and he kept possession.
Look at
and he kept it
Messias.
going
Oh
until
boy, he got
now
trucked.
Milan's got the
Messias.
ball back.
But look how tricky Messias is, though. Everyone wants to foul him because that guy, he'd be taking a lot of penalties with the new penalty rule,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Oh, great
We'll get a yellow.
job. Great
Real.
job for Milan overall, though. Milan, I gotta start giving them more credit than I've been giving them because even
Mike,
even
you're lucky
when-
Antonio's not here.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I
he'd
know.
be attacking you right
I
now.
thought, but I mean, I just didn't think without Zlatan Giroud, not just this game, but previous games, he's been stepping up. They just, I don't know what it is, and I didn't put a lot of respect on Pioli's name just because like, who is this? He's a mid-table coach.
Yeah.
He proved me wrong. I was like, wow, this guy, it wasn't just a fluke, man. He's doing it. He's out here and really competing.
Pioli is going through a revolution right now that has never been seen before by in recent years by a mid-table coach, where he's gone from literally 0 to 100 and he's still kind of going off firing on all
He's on that
cylinders.
wave still.
Yeah.
Just looking at Milan's schedule for the month of October. So they're going to win this one. Then they got Verona. They'll be at home on the 16th after the international break.
Okay.
They got Porto in the Champions League, Bologna, Torino. That's
Let me
going to be a hard one.
Let me finish off the month, I know, against two.
At Roma on Halloween.
Mm-hmm. Oh, on Halloween? Yeah. Oh, that's right. It
Yes.
falls on a Sunday this year.
Yes. That's going to be a good one.
I mean,
so
Wayne, you bringing up the schedule made me think about the African Cup of Nation question we had to check Napoli, who have the most African starters who would be leaving for January. So I'm going to read you their schedule in January, and you guys let me know how many points
Messias in on goal.
you think they could drop.
Mm-hmm.
January 6th, they play Juventus.
Oh.
Without Koulibaly, Oshiman, and Anguissa.
Wow.
They're
So now it's
backbone right
even.
there.
Now it's even.
Now it's very even. Next game, Sampdoria, who Sampdoria's no
Okay.
walk in the park at all.
Well,
No.
today they brought up a surprising result against Udinese. What was it, 3-3?
3-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fell off the gas in the last few minutes. Udinese
Yeah.
tied it.
Crazy. That was a crazy
Yeah.
game. Other than the Coppa Italia, they either play Fiorentina or Benevento. Other than they play Bologna. Mihailovic, you never know what Bologna you're going to
never
get.
know.
The good one or the one that doesn't perform as well. Other than Salernitana is their last one. Okay, so
Lucky.
they got...
Lucky is
So
right.
the hardest one is Juve, other than Sampdoria. That can give them the real
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah. Right off in
Sampdoria
the
is
beginning.
interesting this year. They really are. Candreva is in some type of form,
Did
man.
you see
He scored
Candreva's
some
goal?
boom. Wow,
Candreva
what
sent
a
that
goal.
top bins, top left corner. Incredible.
That was a goal, my God.
They still got
Unbelievable.
Quags. They got Caputo.
Oh, Caputo's looking... Ooh!
What?
Oh!
Oh my!
They got...
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Makes it 3-2.
What are you doing?
I was saying it as a joke. What if they equalize? There's a less than a minute
foul on the
left,
field before. Why wasn't that called?
and Atalanta make it 3-2. Still track behind, but
Look at this.
they're gonna send everyone ahead.
Let's see this
Guys, are we
again.
gonna get a crazy finish or what?
Look at this.
I think this is...
2 goals.
Do we count out Atalanta or what, Wayne?
Why are we
Wow.
not playing to the whistle? What is this?
going on?
Milan falling asleep, 90 good minutes, and then just a few bad ones, and Atalanta's making them pay.
That penalty's looking... That wrong penalty call is looking worse and worse every minute, seems like.
Mike, what did I tell you?
I don't know. He's not
Lord.
going
tell
to
you?
give that as a penalty. I mean as a foul
You
against
think they're going to take it
Macias.
away?
No.
You don't think it's a foul?
No, I don't think they're going to give that. I think he kind of was looking for it, and Zapata was just much stronger than him.
All we're going to see is Musso going up for a goal right now.
Yeah.
There's less than a minute left. I'm sure they're going to give an extra minute.
He's got to give that extra minute.
Yeah, for sure. But could Atalanta pull an impossible right now? Sebastian looks like he's lost. He doesn't know what to think.
I'm not lost.
He's
I'm
lost
just,
for words.
No, I'm not lost. I'm just frustrated because,
Wow.
see, this is something that's been happening to us lately. And, again, with these decisions that then change the path of now how things are going to move forward. And now, as opposed to being in a situation where you're up 3-0, now you find yourself in a position where you're going to almost now lose that chance to get those 3 points. This is a huge opportunity for them right now.
Atalanta
Look
are
at this.
breathing fire right now.
Okay, there we go.
Milan's ball.
That might
Milan's
seal
ball.
it.
Yeah,
Gasperini's like,
smile, Gasperi. Smile, Gasperi.
Oh, wow.
Keep on smiling.
He's got good hair.
Kessie
I'll
is
give him
waiting
that.
a little bit extra to kick the ball. Wait. Wow. I mean, at the end of the day, if Musso didn't spill that Calabria shot,
Yeah.
this could have been a very
That's it.
different game.
That's the 3 points.
And guys, Milan hold on, late on. 2 goals from Atalanta late on, not enough. And Milan collect the 3 points. Huge game over here.
Big.
Wow. Sebastian, what was your prediction for this?
My prediction was initially, I believe it was 2-1.
Oh, 2. Okay.
I was 2-1 Atalanta.
So Sebastian was
Yeah, he was
close
2-1
to us.
the other way, yeah.
I said a draw. I was close to it, but no cigar for me. But I think that was a very exciting game.
Very.
If Atalanta scored earlier in the second half, or even if they didn't concede one of the goals that they did, this could have been even more tougher. But they did manage to get a second goal very late on, so it was too late for them for that comeback.
They fought.
Oh yeah. But does this still show you that Atalanta still has it, or you think it's still not the same Atalanta as previous seasons? I think that's still the question to be asked.
I don't think they're going to improve from here. I think this is the best that you'll see of them. I don't think that I don't know if they're going to be able to find answers to a game like this where they're down a few goals and they have to suddenly get somebody who can spark the team up. That just came from good team play. But for that actual person who steps on the pitch and makes it happen by themselves, they're going to need somebody like that if they want to be considered, in the first couple of spots. Otherwise, they're a very good team. That's a 5th or 6th place team.
5th or 6th. Oh, Wayne, you seem very convinced with that. Sure.
They're not getting back in the Champions League.
No, you seemed
They're not.
You seem like you're confident on that.
And if they lose Zapata, forget it.
I don't think he's gonna go mid-season.
No,
You
I
never-
mean, it's
well-
injury or anything,
Oh, you're
fatigue,
saying like that,
playing
you're
in the
saying like that.
Champions League. As time goes on, the men can't play every single match. They're going to have to do something there.
Wow. Last things to say. Did Milan surprise you guys? Well, what you think? Sebastian, I don't think it surprised you, but
No, not at all. I knew again
It
from the
definitely
beginning.
surprised
I mean, for me, the only surprise was there at the minute or towards the last few minutes there where we kind of lost concentration for a bit.
Yeah.
And again, that comes from an unfortunate call that we don't get in our way. And again, that's those moments where we then concede. I see are really important because of the fact that then we kind of tend to put our heads down for a little bit and not keep our heads up high and kind of then move forward. And I've seen Milan has suffered in that kind of respect when they don't get the call against them. And again, you have to always play to the final whistle. You can't lose that concentration, which is why we then conceded that second goal over there where whether or not it was a foul, you got to still always play for the whistle because of the fact that ball is going to keep moving on the field until that last time, that last second, that last minute, you got to give it your all.
Absolutely.
And but overall, I'm not surprised. I do believe that Milan did the job that they were going to do, regardless, even if it wasn't as clean as it has been, since we have a pretty great percentage throughout the season so far with clean sheets. But
3
I'll
points
take
is
3
3
points.
points,
3
man.
points is 3 points against Atalanta.
Wow.
And again, Inter weren't able to get those 3 points.
No, and you guys did it in Bergamo, which is not easy at all. And Milan right now sit only 2 points behind Napoli. Those guys are another force to be reckoned with.
Guys,
Milan against Napoli are going to be a
looking at
great
your
one.
next Scudetto win. Next year is going to be a beautiful red, green, white, and red right there in the middle. Right there.
He's saying Scudetto patch is
This
going to
is
be
the
there.
year, baby. Let's go.
Wayne, anything with Milan?
I saw a top tier goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Really stable defensive pair. Ahead of them, I saw one of the more exciting young midfielders of his generation, and he's starting to explode alongside Kessie. And if he doesn't stay or whatever his problems are, it really isn't showing. It didn't show today. At least he put in a really good shift. And then just a forward-thinking team. A team that wants to go and score goals. They're not afraid of it. If it comes from the wings or it comes from the sides. They got Leao going. And you can get burned a few different ways from this Milan side, and that's what makes them so dangerous.
Wow. And you talked about Magnan a little bit. I just feel like most goalkeepers probably wouldn't let in a goal or two of those Atalanta power surges and shots. He made a few incredible saves that a lot of keepers probably wouldn't have made. And if that went in, this would have been a completely different game.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just how their outfield players are playing. Their goalkeeper has been incredible. Really, seamless transition from Donnarumma. Seamless transition from Donnarumma in terms of Donnarumma making those saves and Magnan making those saves. Two world-class keepers. I think Magnan's world-class. I'm saying it now. Even though I haven't seen him last year. Seeing him only, 10, not even 10 games or whatever. Dude, he's incredible.
Tip your hat to Milan's back room for that.
Unbelievable.
It's great work by them.
Unbelievable purchase by them.
Maldini is working his magic even if he's not on the field. He's still being able to find ways to make this team better and being able to help.
Gazidis too, right?
Gazidis, they all together. No, Gazidis 110%.
No, he's good too. Maldini's great.
That teamwork that they have going on there in the back office over there in the office with the rest of the management is doing a phenomenal job finding these young guys and these still very relevant and great players.
Tomori too. That was a great pickup.
Tomori. Tonali, these guys are all everywhere. These all young guys, and even Magnan right now, even though international, as we coming up with the break, he doesn't have the starting role yet at France.
It's better for Milan. Better for Milan, man.
Not only that, but he's also learning from a great goalkeeper like Lloris, I believe, who was the starting keeper over there in France.
I think he's a captain, I believe.
I believe so. So why not be able to get that experience in the international perspective?
And even having someone like Theo. I'm not sure if Theo started recently getting called up to France, but I'm not sure. I don't really watch France, but I'm not sure if he starts or anything.
So I remember the last time that they were called up, he was called up and he didn't start the first two of the 3 games, but I believe the last game they did start him and he had a great performance. He played phenomenal. Okay. And he was called up again for this next upcoming stint with the team, including with his brother, even though it was interesting. Lucas Hernandez was also called up, but I saw that instead of being called up as a defender, he was called up as a midfielder, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, maybe they'll change up some formations or maybe even change him up overall because Theo, that guy's another gem, I feel like.
Yep.
But, Wayne.
If we look at our 7 sisters, these teams, what a testament to the league, the way that they play. Because these are going to be such exciting matches to watch.
Dude, I feel like there's at least 2 bangers every week,
every
round.
Every week.
It's insane. Even the mid-table games that you think, they're good, man.
Absolutely.
They're good.
It's
the game
great
today,
ball.
Sampdoria today, oh my God.
And they
Sampdoria,
go for it.
And
they're not just sitting back there. These are teams, they're battling. They're going for the win.
They're going for every point that they can get. They're fighting tooth and nail. It's amazing to see because, like you said, nobody's sitting back. Nobody's waiting for anything. Everybody's just going at it to take everything.
And this is not the same old Serie A that people say, the Catenaccio, the defense, the boring. Guy, at least last round, they had the most goals in the top 5 leagues compared to every other league. So there's a lot of goals, a lot of excitements, a lot of great players, a lot of gems that people don't know about. And I think this season is going to be the best since the past decade for Serie A. I think I could say there's so much competition. I don't think anyone of us could really pick a top 4 that we really all agree on. You know what I'm saying?
Difficult.
That's what I'm saying. But that's
Playing
the magic
good
of Serie
football.
A.
It's not just a few good players, some Premier League guys who used to do it. It's not like that at all. You have young players who are invested heavily in, players in their prime, guys who are Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah,
So there's excitement all around.
Absolutely. But yeah, any last things you guys wanted to add on before we conclude?
I guess for me, first and foremost, I would like to say thank you for the invitation. This was
thank you for
amazing.
coming on, Sebastian.
I feel like now I have to watch every Milan game here in the studio because of the fact that we're able to pick up these 3 points is huge.
We definitely got to arrange you for more,
and
for sure.
I'm very thankful for you guys, and I can't wait to see what else the season tends to bring.
Yeah, it's going to be hopefully Milan could go on that positive run, see how far they can really go, proving a lot of people wrong, especially me. This game was amazing, but I think it was great. Wayne, how about you?
Congratulations to Milan and Pioli. Incredible match today by them.
I think they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna dip like last season.
No, really
after
important game for their season to come and win this away.
You said it, man. Guys, thanks again for everyone that tuned in. I try to read as many comments as I can. There's sometimes too many, and we're all talking. It's a lot, but I'll try to read more because everyone keeps saying, you missed my comment, you missed my comment. I'm trying to read more. Trying to keep it interesting with the guys on the table, watching the game over here, and trying to get a conversation going. But I think it was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I think we had a lot of great talking points overall. And if you guys like Sebastian and the Wayne duo, I think you guys complement each other well.
Yeah.
It was very informative. Sometimes with Antonio, it's not as informative in terms of that's more of screaming and yelling and calling people losers. So it's good to have a segment where there's more well-explained thoughts and thinking about different ideas and what we thought about.
I mean, Mike, we need another Milan fan here for the future. So
yeah, exactly.
That's definitely the guy. I mean, it's so funny whenever we talk about Milan, it's just to see. Like, I kind of tend to think of myself as somebody who's more objective. I don't tend to kind of usually let my emotions and my team be the number one, kind of how he tends to kind of do. But but I like his energy, and I think he's great.
No, yeah, he's definitely great.
And definitely because he's a Milan fan, he knows where it's at. So.
Yeah, for sure. But guys, thanks again for everyone joining in. Sebastian, Wayne, thanks for joining. I had a blast. I hope you guys had a great time also, and I'm sure Sebastian was happy with the 3 points. Regardless. But guys, don't forget Paramount Plus, link in the description. Make sure to sign up using that link. You get 7 days free. Exclusively, they're streaming exclusively Serie A, Champions League. Guys, check them out. They're the best. And we will see you guys. International break too.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that Zurich do. Hopefully they do well, and hopefully the break's not too long so we can get more Serie A action and watch those games. But guys, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.